Welcome to Hardcore Random. You're probably familiar with Hardcore. That's one life, permadeath. That includes your pals. None of this getting knocked out nonsense. Nah, man, they dead. But that's not the real challenge. The randomizer makes any pal spawn anywhere, and that's at their proper level. So right when you walk out of the starting area, there could be a level 55 or something waiting there to one-shot you and end your journey before it even gets started. To make things worse, I'm doing this on 100% default settings. 1 times XP, 2-hour egg incubation, 4 bases, 15 pals. Yes, everything default. I have given myself 100 hours in total to attempt to complete my goals. Goal number 1, just survive 100 days. That's 50 hours in real life of not dying. I'll be doing this based on 30 minutes in real life day cycles, regardless of if I sleep in game. Goal number 2, reach max level. At 1 times XP, this might be my biggest obstacle because the XP grind is painful. Goal number 3, defeat all tower bosses. Okay, I need to actually do something. So I'll attempt to conquer every tower boss. These are literal death matches. You can't just run from this like a raid. Once you enter the tower, it's you or the boss. 1 winner and 1 loser. This turned out to be one of the most fun and enjoyable gaming experiences for me ever. I highly recommend you give this a shot yourselves. That is, if you like to cry a little bit. But for now, I hope you enjoy this and maybe even take away some strategies. Mainly what not to do. I hope you can learn from my mistakes. Let's get into this. I have hundreds of hours in Palworld, but I've only started from the beginning a few times. So going into this, I wasn't sure of the best strategy. And I've never done this randomizer before either, so I really didn't know what to expect. But I couldn't take more than a few steps out of the starting area before I already started being super intimidated. Suppose we want to start picking up some stone and some resources. Oh, look at that level. Oh my god, a level 30 syndicate hunter. Okay, well, we can't go that way, so that's fine, because I wasn't intending on that anyways. Thankfully, the other direction, there were some Fuak and Joltog, 2 early game pals that would be catchable. I needed some spheres first, so I bravely headed out to punch some Palladium stones, hoping not to aggro anything dangerous. But it was very apparent to me right away. I needed to learn which pals are actually friendly. Oh, he is aggressive. Okay, well, I hope I'm faster than him. Woo, that would have killed me. Already very scary down there. Okay, we'll build by these guys. No. I need those resources. Let's keep running. He's still chasing me. Oh, he missed me, but that was totally luck. Okay, I thought he might de-aggro by now. How far is he going to chase me? And while trying to sort out a minor bug that confused me a little bit, I also learned very quickly, you just can't stand around, because out of nowhere, a Phalaris Aqua just happened to spawn right out in the front area. With way too many scary things right outside the front, I decided to put my base back up in the back ruins area. I figured it'd be a safe place where pals couldn't get to me, and hopefully this would help bottleneck raids when those eventually come. But the real reason I just couldn't leave this area, there were too many hostile things and too many pal spawns. So this was kind of my only option at first, before I learned how to navigate this dangerous world. It's also nice there's a couple of chests down here. I learned that I can take fall damage from this height without losing too much health. I intended on using this as an escape route if things get a little too crazy up here. The main benefit though was that it allowed me easy access to stone and wood to start. So I got to work farming the nearby nodes so that I could get my basic tools. My first set of armor was #1 priority, but in order to get that, I would need wool. So once I crafted a couple of spheres, I pushed out into the world to do some hunting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sprint towards the next fast travel point, and then I can just fast travel back towards my base. So I'm making a run for it. Here we go. Hopefully nothing dangerous gets me. I should be able to outrun everything with the slide. So those serpents are definitely hostile. These guys are hostile. I didn't think they were hostile. Oh crap. Okay, let's keep moving. I don't have a slide. I'm running uphill. I need to go down. I need to go downhill. Oh, crap. Those guys are hostile, too. This was maybe a bad idea. Okay, that's what we needed. Mozzarina, level 10. That could be really helpful. Look at that. Nice slide. No stamina cost. You're friendly. And we'll just slide past all these guys. Cryolinks Terror. We do not want to run into him. No! The tree! Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, he didn't attack me. What was that? Are they friendly? I thought they were hostile. Oh. Oh my god. This is not going well. I thought I was going to make a better slide, but this is what the area I was looking for. I can slide all the way down. Okay. Slide past all this stuff. All right, we're safe over here. Nothing is aggroed on us, so we can actually just look around a little bit. Maybe get some trees. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh my god, I thought he was attacking me. I just dropped all that wood. Whatever, I can get it back again. I just discarded that wood so I wasn't overweight. He was beelining for me. That was so scary. What? What was that? Why was he coming this way so fast? Dang, he just really wanted to say hi. That was terrifying. I was not expecting so many spawns. There's pretty much no area in the starter spot where it's safe, unless you get lucky and have a bunch of friendly pals spawn. I did not. But seeing as how I didn't really know any better since it was my very first run, I crafted a couple of spheres and I went back out searching desperately for a pal that could give me wool. Oh. Oh, let's stay away from that. Oh. Oh, that was his move. Okay, we want this. Oh, here's some berries. 598 coin. That was nice. That's really nice. Let's get as many berries as we can before we get attacked. Is he friendly? I don't know if he's friendly. Let's not find out. They look so friendly. All of them look friendly, honestly. Most pals look friendly. Some of them are just evil demons. He's not friendly. Yep, no, he's not friendly. Oh, and he's got so much range on his attack. Let's get out of here. No! No! I didn't even know that attack. I thought it was just one, and then, but it follows you and it's multiple. Well, first death. Wow. Wow. Marsan Deluxe, not friendly. On the next run, I was greeted with a level 45 Catris Ignis right at my entrance. Another terrifyingly unfriendly pal. But I started the same by putting my base in the back and getting those basic resources. I was a little concerned when I had some visitors. So we'll go back down to that same fast travel as last time. Try to get the... Oh, okay. What are they doing down here? I didn't think pals would come down here. Okay, that concerns me a little bit. These ones were friendly, but my concept of putting the base back here so that pals couldn't reach it was kind of busted. I'd worry about that later, though. I needed to make some progress. So I stepped out into the world once again, seeing if there was something that I could get. Prickster is dangerous, but Gumos is not. Maybe if I can sneak around him. That's sketchy, but maybe I can sneak around him. Then I could just get berries right there. Although I still need that fast travel. Just for moving around purposes. And level 13, 12, I probably won't be able to capture those either. So let me just get the stone here. There was a tree right by that fast travel. So just stay on track here. Let me try to go back down. Same thing as before. Same thing as before. Let's try to find a good line, though. That way I can just slide right past those serpents. Serpent Terras, I think. Because they will kill me. I think Wyvern should be safe. Raindrick's dangerous, though. Something's attacking me. The music kicking in. That time it actually helped me, that little bounce. Dire Howls, I think, are safe. So it should be okay. Something's attacking me. Oh, the Blaze Howl. The Blaze Howls are not safe. I thought they were safe. Okay, they're coming. Oh! What hit me? What hit me? Oh my god. On the next run, I didn't even bother setting up my base because I couldn't get anything going for me. It was a waste. I just found a safe spot out front to craft my first basic things so that I could actually, for once, capture a pal. Thankfully, I found some Rye Bunny, and even more importantly, the Broncherry nearby is friendly, so I could actually capture something without something else nearby trying to rip my face off. If I can get any pal, I'll be happy because they'll give me the XP too. That's another thing. Don't run towards Neophia, she will kill me. Oh, no. Okay, I forgot they attack you. Forgot they had even the non-aggressive ones attack you when you try to fight them. Yeah, I was just thinking she was going to keep running, but hey, we got our first pal, Rye Bunny. All right. I ran back to my makeshift base, but I was reminded why it was dumb to put stuff out there. I hear something. I hear something. Ah! No, where did they come from? No, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. Oh, okay, that missed me. That was close. I don't want to throw out Rye Bunny because I'll lose her. Okay, we got up. We climbed up. They can't climb. We're good. They're dogs. They can't climb. Once I got them off my back, it was time for more hunting. I was in search of literally anything low enough level to capture, but a mining pal would probably be most useful. Luckily, I spotted that off the edge of the cliff from the starting area where those dire howls were just at. Okay, we're not going to chase him. That guy will destroy me. Maybe I can get him from up here? Let's see if we can get him up from up here. Don't run, don't run, don't run. Okay, come to me, come to me. Come on, fight me. Yep, that's right. Come on, big boy. Come on. Come on. Alright, that's probably safe. I don't want to kill him. Oh, yeah, 73. Come on, we got this. 83. Nice toss. Let's go. Pal. Yeah, pal. Almost premature there. Pal number 2. Let's go. I was ready to head back with my brand new pals, ready to make some more progress. But to my surprise, the dire howls were still there, blocking my path. So I had to go forward. This was the first time I thought about just making an all-out run for the small settlement. Dire howls are still here. What? I guess why wouldn't they be? We are just going to have to try to get out to that market. I might just make a push for it. I might just make a run for it, honestly. And try to run all the way. It is far. It is very, very far, but I don't know how else I'm going to get Claw. That's an issue. This is a big issue. This is a big obstacle to start with. I didn't decide on that quite yet. I really just wanted to get back to my base to put my new Cativas to work. So I sprinted for that fast travel and I barely escaped with my life. The level 55 Verdash was definitely trying to murder me. And then while trying to get myself my first kindling pal, those damn dire howls made their return. Okay, let's not die here. So careful. They do a little bit of damage. They're doing a little bit of damage. I need both of them. Oh, I got no more spheres. And the dire howls on me. Oh, crap. I got no more spheres. I didn't even get that one. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. No. Oh, oh. No. Oh, I don't want to die here. Come on. Come on. And they're following me all the way into my base. No. No. These freaking dire howls, man. They just do not want to leave me alone. Oh, I really needed that ruby. I was struggling. I couldn't even take 2 steps out into the world without getting attacked. How the hell was I going to find wool? How the hell was I going to capture anything? This was a mess. When nighttime came, I had a bit of a realization. Everything's... Oh, everything is sleeping. Oh, okay. Can I sneak by them? Not if the rubies are going to keep attacking me. Oh, now's my chance. Never mind. I'm cold. It was a lot easier at nighttime, but I clearly still had some nuances to learn about going out at night. Anyway, since I was already out that way, I continued on. I was attempting to make it to the desolate church. It's always been a go-to spot for ore for me in the past, and I wanted to see if I could get out to that fast travel early. These Van Warns are going to attack me. I know they are. I know they are. Keep running. Please, 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 please don't attack. Nope, they're attacking. I hear the music. Oh, no. Oh, no, and I have no stamina. Oh, I'm screwed. Oh, he's stuck. He's stuck. Oh, that gave me a little... He's still coming, though. He's still coming. And then there's a Cineram right. I slide right into him. Oh, this was a bad idea. And, of course, there's Blaze Howls blocking my path. What is going on? Oh, no. Oh, there's too many Nocturnals, man. This is not happening. There's too many Nocturnals. I'm never getting out there. I'm never getting there. I'm dead. This is the move that killed me last time. This is the one that killed me. Just don't roll. Burn my stamina. King P.A.K.A. is friendly, apparently. I did not know that. Woo, woo, woo. Come on, just let me get to the town. I'm still really far from it. What? Oh, okay, we're okay. We're okay. Oh my god, that was scary. Everything was awake. Okay, we're okay. Just want to duck down here and catch my breath. I don't even need to build a campfire. It's about to be daylight. Yep, we're good. So you can, I didn't even realize, but you can survive through the night. That's really helpful. I thought I was gonna have to get armor by nightfall. Crap, they're gonna wake up soon too. Maybe I should wait till next nightfall and come back out here. Syndicate thugs just died. I can get some resources from them. Vixie. Oh, should I try to get her? She's sleeping. 8%'s not. 25. We can get 25. Come on, give me. Nope. Yeah, this is why I wanted to get her on the first one, because she's gonna be awake now, and yeah, that's why. Yep. That's all right. We can get this one. We can get this. 40 is good. 48 is good. Oh, Kelpsy, I need her too. Risky. No, I'm not doing it. It's a level 11. Do I want to push on? Everything's awake now. I'm not sure if I want to push on. But my navigation skills are apparently lacking. Oh my god, I went the wrong way. I went the complete wrong way. It's down here, isn't it? Yeah, I went the complete wrong way. Well, at least there's a fast travel up here. Okay, we gotta backtrack. This did me no good, except waste a lot of time here. Luckily, though, it wasn't a total waste. I got more Cativa, and then it was time to head home and set up my base, which I apparently didn't do yet. I started the grind getting wood and stone, but quickly was reminded how underpowered I really am when trying to take on these level 10 woolly pops. All right, please be low level. Please be low level. 15, 14. That might be a little high. Nah, I'm not going to be able to kill them. And he's not going to either. Look at him smiling at me. What are you smiling at? Ugh, these guys are just too strong. Even level 14 is too strong. I'm not going to be able to get them. Avoid that at all costs. This. I need this. I need cloth. I should have attacked him. Now I can't get the stone and wood that I was going to get down there. Oh, I put myself in a terrible spot. That's all right. I can get this wood here. I still need stone, though. Okay, they are attacking me. No, don't attack me. I want to be friends. I didn't mean to shoot you with a bow. I'm sorry. No, please don't. Please don't. Oh, it did the thing. Since when do woolly pops have freaking insane range on their attacks? No! Oh my god, that would have killed me. Okay, let's get out of here, please. I just don't want to... No! Oh my god, I have 2 health. Please get out of the range. Please get out of the range. I was so close. After that close call, I attempt to get the much needed armor from the wandering merchant in my base, but I didn't have the gold for wool or enough things to even sell to be able to buy it. I was super broke. Then, not 30 seconds later, that didn't even matter anymore. Just stone. I could go farm like 200 stone, but she's not going to be here by the time I get back. That's the problem. I guess let me just go run. I don't know how long these people stay in your base, but let me just go run if I can farm some stone and some wood and just try to get like 200 gold worth of resources so I can get another bit of whatever wool. Okay. I don't even need to. Look at that. Look at that. I can take my time though. She should run away from me. We got to get more spheres. So I can take my time on this. One more. Good. 100%. That's what we like to see. Awesome stuff here. So lucky that these spawned in. Now we can actually start making some progress. Let me go right back to my base and not do another single thing until I get my armor crafted. Just from capturing them, I had the wool, and immediately I got my armor crafted. Finally, some protection. Then after a little more farming, I got the shield crafted too. And those 2 things were huge. Now I could actually go out and not get one shot by basically everything. Even though I knew nighttime had its benefits, I was still not fully understanding of how essential it is. So once I built my bed, I ended up sleeping through the night. It's not something that I would be doing a whole lot going forward. The next day I had some rush roar in my backyard that were calling my name. I got my ranch set up and I leveled up my base. Then another realization at how underpowered I really am. Oh no. Oh, it's a level 15. We got this, yo. Come on, team. We're gonna fight. Never mind, there's another one. There's two. There's two, and they're coming in my cage. Oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. That shield just saved me, but... Land ball, no. No, no, no. Get back in your... Oh, I can't lose you. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're going to kill me. Oh! 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 Oh my god. Those just level 15 serpents almost ended it for me. This was beginning to be a big problem. Even with my armor, I had trouble against level 15 pals. The way that level scaling works makes this incredibly difficult. I seriously started to doubt how leveling up was ever going to be possible without just sitting and waiting for friendly pals to spawn. I kept grinding those resources though as safely as I could to continue my progress throughout the day. Then when nighttime came, I slept again because I was still too afraid of the dark. But I needed my pals to work for me anyways. The land balls and the Vixie on the farm gave me some valuable early resources and spheres. I had more reasons to doubt my base location when more unwelcome visitors showed up. I don't know if Dazzy are friendly or not, but she is beelining towards me. Where's she going? Where are you going? Don't go in my base. No, 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 no. I really hope you're not going to fight. Oh, why is he coming in now? Come on, man. We got to put some walls up. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They're just wandering into my... I put my base back here so I didn't have this happen. What are they doing? Dazzy, please leave. Level 34. She would wipe everyone if we fought. No, dude. Come on. Come. Why? 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 Oh, you better not be hostile. Oh, dude. I'm ready to jump if he is. Why are you in my base? I mean, he's not aggroing so far. He just took a crap. Dude, you need to get out. You're killing me. Go up the stairs. Please leave. Doesn't look like he's hostile, but I don't even want to get any closer. I think some of them have just shorter aggro ranges. Oh my god, I can't even leave my base. This is ridiculous. I can't even... I just need Paldium, yo. I just need Paldium, okay? I just need some Paldium. Mining was a huge problem. It was way too grindy with that beginning pickaxe. I needed a better solution. I had my Rush Roar, so I built the Pal Gear Workbench so that I could craft that Rush Roar saddle. I also tried to come up with a solution for these intruders. The saddle and, well, everything needs Paldium, and it was still really hard to get because each stone only gives you 5. But like I said, grinding those stones up takes so long, and the pickaxe breaks after just like 2 of them. It's so annoying. So I daringly went back out to try to get more Paldium stones, and I ran into some trouble trying to get back. No, my god, okay, yeah, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Oh my god, there's a Yormantide Ignis. Holy god. They're gonna track me all the way back to my base. No, Warsec. Oh my god. He's sleeping. Oh, I thought he was a nighttime pal. Okay, we're good. He's sleeping. We should be all right. Oh my god. Level 53. Get out of here. I don't think you have to be stealthy as long as I don't hit him. You should stay asleep. It took all night to get home, but I got back and I crafted that saddle. Then I had a chance to test out my new blockade, and shortly after that, I tested out my Rush Roar. If it's low enough... Alright, time to test. It's a level 14. It works for the Dire Owl. Oh, no. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, great. This is awesome. Now I'm stuck down here. That was not fun. Yeah, so that's definitely not going to work for me, especially out in the daytime. I decided to head back home, but once again I ran into some trouble with some dangerous pals, blocking my path to safety. Yep, there it is. I got too close. No. Oh, what is it? Oh my god, into Dire Hall. Oh my god. Oh, and they're coming from both ways. Oh no. Oh crap, I'm screwed. The Neophias, I didn't know they could get up that way. This thing is so slow. I'm dead. I'm so dead. There's 2 ways up. I didn't know that they were going to go around. What is that? Don't attack. We got to get out of here. Rush, 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 rush. Go. Oh. Oh. Well, thanks, buddy, for taking the hit for me. Oh, my God. I lost my first pal. Those Neophias, why do they have to be up there? I'm just trying to get back to my base. Do I make a run for the fast travel? I should have been a little more patient. I should have waited till they like started walking the other way or something. I can't even get back to my base. I got to do something. Get off there, otherwise they're gonna get me. So let me just keep moving. Let's try to go around the back way again. Oh my god. I thought I was safe down here. This is why you don't just stand around. I thought I had them off me. I really needed to try something different here. I hated depending on the RNG to get a wool pal for the first armor. I decided to make a naked run to the small settlement. Oh, Blazamut? What? Get out of here, please. Oh my god, a 49. How did he not one-shot me? Oh my god. A 49 Blazamut? Come on. What is that? That's insane. I don't know how he didn't one-shot me. Get out of here. Oh, how did he hit me? That's the same way I died as last time. I literally just paused somewhere I thought I was safe. I obviously didn't care as much this time, but you literally cannot pause for a second. You are actually never safe. Okay, I was lost at this point. I really didn't know what to do. Doing a naked run out to the settlement felt impossible with such low stamina. I went back to just trying to start out in these back ruins because I didn't know how else to go about it. But with bad RNG spawns in my backyard and not understanding still which pals are dangerous, I thought I had some friendly dogs back there, but they were anything but. Well, I kind of have to find out if these Rayhounds are friendly because I can't really go any other direction. So it's either they're friendly or I'm dead. No? You're gonna attack? Oh, they're attacking. I did not want to drop down. I did not want to drop down. I'm dead. How did that not hit me? Oh, yeah, fuck that one up. Oh, man. All right, well, get it over with. Get it over with. There it is. After dying a number of times already, I was getting the sense of how much harder this was gonna be than I anticipated. The early grind was getting so repetitive, starting over and over, but it's obviously something that I can't just skip over. Getting the early stone and wood is a bit annoying, but really it's that Paldium that's just so hard to get your hands on. All the Paldium nodes spawn near dangerous pals, and farming from the regular rocks just takes so long. But after discovering there were these nodes in the back area ruins, I knew this had to be my starting area for now. There were 3 stone nodes on the ground and 2 up in the back tower area. And I realized that no pals spawned down here on this platform. Since the pals kept creeping into my base up top, I put my base down low here in this nice, safe area. The wood and stone nodes are also in my base, so my base pals can actually auto farm them too. This felt like a really good starting point, so I started getting set up with the basics. I stayed down in that area until I had my old bow crafted with some arrows and some spheres, then went out on a hunt to see if there was anything that I could capture. The starting area was no good. A Wumpo Botan was creeping into my base, so it reaffirmed my decision to put the box down low. But after he was out of sight, I popped down to the first spawn area, where I was hoping to grab some berries. And finally, I got some good luck. Very easy to capture Foxsparks, so I got both of them. Great starting pals. I saw some Killimaris too that were within level range, but having to face off against 3 of them with no shield was much too risky. I went back to base with my first captures. I built a fireplace, and just as night was approaching, I got some berries cooked up for me and my foxes. Foxsparks gave me another benefit besides being able to cook my first meal without clothes. He also kept me warm, and you can definitely die from temperature. A little bit of foreshadowing there. So this is quite nice. At night, I went back out to see if more Foxsparks were there. I was very slowly realizing the true potential and benefits of nighttime. Anyway, instead of Foxsparks, there were some Rye Bunny. Another perfect thing for me to capture this early. Desperate once again for Paldium, I went out during the day to get some nodes as safely as I could. Never smart, but when you're desperate, you do things you don't want to do. I got that chest in the starting area for some nice gold, and then back at base I continued chopping trees and mining stones as the nodes respawned. I was able to craft a shield, which is nice that you don't need wool for it. This makes me feel a lot more secure without armor, but I still really needed the wool. Once I crafted a bunch more spheres, it was time to get back out there. I'm still pretty limited with this Yormintide Ignis here, but off to the side a little was a Fuak. Perfect, because I needed that watering pal and those pal fluids ASAP. The rest of my paths were blocked, and then a Gotham Ignis aggroed to me, so I ran home like a coward. Eventually they wandered off and I got down and I found more Voxsparks, so I captured them, and a Tansy joined the crew as well. With that Gotham Ignis there, it was definitely risky, but like I said, I am already in a desperate situation, so I just needed to go after it. Luckily, I was able to capture it and make it back safely. I spent all night getting stone and wood because Palladium continues to be a problem. And then back out to find even more Foxsparks in the same area where they were before. I was still just trying to get any pal that I could for XP. When I went back to base, I had some Jolt Hogs in my backyard. That helped me get up another level. And just as I was about to craft my stone pit, I had my first raid. But it was so much less exciting and underwhelming than I thought it would be. Thankfully though, the raids aren't random. They still spawn at a similar level as before. So this first raid was incredibly easy. And instead of being scared of these raids, which was honestly my biggest fear going in, it's why I put my base back here. Yeah, it turns out they're not a challenge at all. I destroyed them quickly and I grabbed some free loot. Back out up top, I was after more Foxsparks. Until I had all 12 of them, I was going to keep capturing them as long as they spawned here. I did have to be careful though of some danger this time. I was still able to come away with one though. And then I saw them, Melpacas. I needed that wool so badly, but it was too dangerous during the day. I was starting to embrace the nighttime strategy, so I waited until it was night. I crafted some arrows and spheres, and I got ready to go on a night hunt, the first of many. I had my Foxsparks to keep me warm, but when I went out there, they were gone. Of course, they had despawned. I wasn't exactly sure how the spawns worked. Those Foxsparks spawned over and over, but other things were despawning every time I came in the area. I did start to pick up on a trend though. It's not completely random all the time. It starts random, but once a pal spawns in a location, it can spawn back there again. It's as if it was cycling through a limited number of pals at each spawn point. Anyway, I wasn't exactly sure how that worked, but I started to try to pay attention to it to maybe use that to my advantage in the future. This time I stayed out at night, embracing the much safer travel with all these sleepy pals. Since that Melpaca was gone, I decided to push out toward the small settlement. I caught a Cativa on the way and I grabbed some free wool sitting on the ground. Then I tried to stay on the beach and work my way across to get there. When it was safe to climb, I got up on a ledge and I was able to avoid pretty much all pal spawns. There was a purple chest over there too, which gave 400 gold, which was perfect because that's how much I needed to buy wool. But I still had to get there first. So I got up on this rock point overlooking the small settlement. There was some dangerous stuff down low, but I knew if I just made a quick slide to the fast travel, I can just travel back to base before anything kills me. So I went for it. Then, after I secured it, I went right back to buy my wool so that I could make cloth. And finally, I got some armor, and then some more Jolt Hogs in my backyard, and with my bed, I was able to upgrade my base. The next big things I needed were a logging site and a stone pit, both because farming those things was so annoying and time consuming, but I also needed them to upgrade my base. I got myself an upgrade to the kindling with an Arsox out in my front yard, then just grinding resources safely. I mostly stayed at base, getting those stone nodes when they respawned, and only going out if there were safe pals spawning nearby. I got leveled up enough to get my next set of armor, and with all those fox sparks I had been catching, flame organs were plentiful. I was getting impatient and I really wanted some more pals, so I went hunting before nighttime. Alright, so I can't really progress any further then. Every way seems to be blocked off a little bit. Those guys just got wrecked by the Pricksters. Oh, that Goffin Ignis is right near my entrance. I can't really push out very far because everything path seems to be blocked. Oh, mozzarella. Mozzarella. Okay, mozzarella. Ooh, mozzarella sounds good. We can get these guys. Okay. Definitely we can get these guys. Oh! Oh, sweet. I'm pretty sure they drop cloth. Or whatever. I need them. Okay. So, I don't really want to look it up. I'm just going to capture them. Forget the mozzarella for now. Just got to avoid that Yormatide. So, just let me be patient. Careful. Alright, we're going to get out our Fox Sparks. The Yormatide's coming my way, which is really sketchy. I might wait to see if he turns around. He's way too close. I'll get in the heat of battle, and then he'll aggro to me before I can get away. And he is a level 54. Okay, we got to be careful here. I really need that sweet. And I can't have him go down too far because he's going to run into someone else. Alright, let's just... The cows are hitting him. What? Oh my god. Okay, let's get him. I need you so bad. I need you so bad. We're just going to use our arrows so they don't accidentally kill him. He can one-shot my shield? What? I guess he's like 3 levels higher than me. Okay, well, we definitely don't want to die to him. That would be embarrassing. That would be absolute... Oh my god, Prickster, no! Oh, I'm fucked. I'm fucked! I'm fucked! No! That's exactly what I knew was going to happen. The Mozzarinas hit him, and I panicked, and I tried to make it... I tried to hurry up, and then the Pricksters came out of nowhere, and then exactly what I said, the Yormantide from behind. This is exactly what I fucking said was gonna happen. I had to watch my back and I had to be patient. But I wasn't patient, and that's exactly why you die. I needed to wait for it to get in the right position. I made it so far. After 6 failed attempts, 6 hours of my life wasted, I had to come up with something different, a different plan, different strategy. Seeing as how valuable wool is early on, and since I died thinking that I could get some from a Sui, I honestly still don't know if you can, I decided to just make a run for the small settlement again. What's nice about this first part is it's mostly downhill, so usually it's enough to slide or run past everything. Then, if you hop down on the beach, there's 2 spawns to worry about, one on the beach, one near the ruins, and if you just follow this cliffside on the beach, you can mostly get there without any more spawns. There's a couple chests along this route too, which is nice for gold, so that you can just buy the wool once you get there, which I wasn't able to do this time, but once you get up near the settlement, you can just climb this rock ledge that is safe, with no spawns, and when it's safe to cross, you can just slide down to the settlement. This was my second time coming out here successfully, and I knew going forward, it was a much better strategy because it's really not that hard to get out here at level 1. I had gotten 2 gold chests though, so I was able to buy at least 1 wool. I fast traveled back to the starting point, and then I went back down to my safe ruins and I started building my base and the early grind of chopping trees and mining stone. I quickly crafted a bow, some arrows, and a torch to keep me warm so that I could go on a night hunt. At this point, I was fully embracing the nighttime strategy. I was only going to go out to hunt or explore at night. And this was a great night because I found a couple land balls in the starting area. I was able to get my hands on 2 of them, and I was feeling really good. But daytime was coming quick, and a Pen King was already awake, blocking my path to the fast travel and my base. I decided to just run for it because honestly I was not sure if they were friendly or not. I found out they were not. I thought I could outmaneuver him, but with no shield, all it takes is 1 hit. I was locked into my strategy of going to the town first, so I did that. On this run, I got another lucky spawn of land balls in that same area, and I was able to come away with 1 by the end of the day. Right at the start of day 2, I could actually get some things done. I put my bed up, then I got the resources to build a ranch, and I put a land ball to work. Another thing I found the settlement useful for was wood. I didn't have enough trees in my base to supply me with what I needed, so this was a safe way to get as much wood as I needed. Then again, before my armor, I got a shield crafted since you don't need wool, but the wool didn't take that much longer anyway. So I got my armor and then some spheres, and I was ready to go capture some pals safely. Up at the settlement, there were some Rye Bunny just out of the distance of the very terrifying Crusher. a little too dangerous to get anything else over there, so back at the beginning to check the other spawns. At the start, I spotted more fox sparks, another perfect early pal, but a lot of dangerous things nearby made it hard to get. I had to run home before the Leespung Ignis fried me. Since I couldn't do much till night, I worked on upgrading my base. Then, the night hunt. The fox sparks were gone, but I continued seeing what else I could capture in the area. Even low-level things, 12 to 15 though, are still super hard to capture because I just can't do much damage and still have basic spheres. So even though there were some things I wanted to get, I still was just too underpowered to do so. Thankfully though, I found some level 3 Pangollets. Perfect, because I really needed watering pals, and right next to them, Tansy, one of the best first pals to get. Next was Cativa, 3 low-level early game pals right next to each other. Looked like my luck was starting to pick up a little bit, but I spent too much time out there, and day comes so incredibly quick. So I had to be careful and make my way to the fast travel. The path upward seemed too dangerous, so I went down to the second fast travel point. Staying close to the water, I was able to get back safely, and now I had a bunch of pals that I could put to work. We needed food, so berry plantations were on the list. I continued on during the day, leveling up my base and farming the resources nearby very, very safely. Once I finally had enough for the stone pit, I got that put up, but then I realized that I really needed a kindling pal, so I couldn't wait for nighttime. I had to see if I could do some daytime hunting, but as soon as I went out my front entrance, a Phalaris Aqua and a beacon. So nope, that's not gonna work. I went back to the settlement to explore a little bit more. I noticed this area along the edge here doesn't have any pal spawns, but it does have ore. I knew this would be a safe place to come get ore when I needed it. Then I thought about this cave here. Why not? It's a level 13. Nope. That's why not, because caves still spawn random pals. So that's a big no-no. I farmed as many resources as I could until nighttime. On this night run, almost immediately, I was targeted by Tyrantris because I wasn't checking my corners. You have to do a full 360, look around every corner. You never know when something hostile is hiding and waiting behind a rock or something to attack you. I ran for my life. And just as I was about to cut this hunt short and head home, I saw some tombats. I really needed them for their level 2 mining, and they weren't all that high of a level, so I actually went after them, but still so underpowered. And 2 versus 1 is just no fair. I had to bail. Thankfully though, with that fast travel, I could escape quickly. And I started to realize that I don't really want to get in any more fights unless there's a fast travel right next to me. At least for now, I was safe. Back at base, I continued trying to upgrade to get more PAL slots. The wood farm was next, then a glider. Another super essential item to have. It becomes way more effective when I can get the grappling hook, but still helps now stop fall damage and has some escapability. I had some Arsox spawn in the backyard. This was a big deal. These are the lowest level 2 kindlers, I think, so having these would help a lot early game. I was able to safely attack it from above, and I got myself an Arsox. Then, more grinding. The early grind is seriously annoying. I know I've already said it, and I will keep saying it. I was looking for ways to level up faster because of this. I can't just go out and capture a bunch of things when everything that spawns is way too high of a level. And normally that's the best way to get XP, but for now, I discovered something. I realized that cooking berries gave you 5 XP, just as much as crafting anything. But berries are very easy to get. So, as my Arsox was cooking, I was doing a little maths. Early game, cooking a bunch of berries was a really good way to get quick, easy, automated, and most importantly, safe XP. So it slowly started to become my way of gaining XP early. I got my crusher set up to finally solve my palladium deficit, and then night came, so it was time for a night hunt. But I found nothing I could capture within my level, so it was pretty uneventful. With the new XP strategy in mind, I got myself more wood and started crafting more berry plantations. And since I was still lacking in the pal department, I helped my guys with the farming. I can pretty much only leave my base at nighttime now. It was way too risky during the day, so I kind of have to find things to do at my base anyways. And right now, I just need XP because I need levels, because I need better weapons and armor and everything else. Farming and cooking berries was boring, but it was a safe way for me to continue my progress until nighttime. I was able to upgrade my armor as well. When nighttime came, I went out for another night hunt. To think all the time spent in this game, I continued learning new things, and things that would help me specifically in this mode capturing pals while I'm still a weakling. His buddies aren't helping? I thought they help. That's nice to know I can just get one-on-one if they're sleeping. They will aggro from miles away if they're awake and I start attacking one of his buddies. So that is actually really nice. Alright, we can get these pretty easily then. I attempted the rush wars again for mining, but like before, I was just bad with it. I went ham on the berry farming strategy and I tried to get as much early XP and leveling done as I could. Pal fluids were my next bottleneck. I needed them for the hot spring and a base upgrade. And once night came around again, I went on another night hunt. This was legit starting to become like a roguelike. During the day, it was gathering resources and prepping, and at night it was go on a permadeath run, trying to get as much loot or pals before daylight. It was actually a really cool game concept in there somewhere. Anyway, I learned something new on this one. Penking's awake. Why is he awake? Why is he awake? Why is Penking awake? Okay, we're running. Nope, it's time to go. I gotta make it back. There's the lucky one. I don't care. Is he sleeping? It's a serpent. There's no way we'd ever get that. Everything's waking up. Oh my god, why are they waking up? It's not even daylight. Do they wake up when you get close to them? I didn't think you could wake them up. We gotta go. Nope, can't even capture the fox parks. We gotta go. Too risky. It's gonna be daylight any second. Oh god. Oh god, oh god, oh god. It's daylight. Oh god. Oh god, oh god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Scary. Scary, scary, scary. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Scary stuff here. Come on. Oh, my God. That was way too close. Yep. So apparently some pals are early risers. And that's a thing. That cuts down on my already limited nighttime. So that sucked, but it's really good information to know if I'm trying to stay alive. I went back to my daily grinding during the day, but I had a very scary moment. I'm getting oh, no. Oh my god. That was scary. I for sure thought I was dead right there. Woo. Okay. That was a long fall. I have my glider too. Oh my god. Imagine if I died there with my glider on me. Oh my god. That's why you pay attention, people. Okay. And well, since I was already down there, I got some more pals too. And I continued to show improvements in my decision making and patience. This is something that I've always had an issue with, but I think I'm getting better. I can sell those rye bunnies I got, but I really, really want these guys. I really, really want them. I'm just really scared. After fighting those rye bunnies that almost killed me at level 4, these level 13s, 2 of them. If there was just one, I would be okay, but no, you know what? I'm not doing it, man. I'm just gonna hold off. No combat until I get that pelt armor, honestly. It's significantly better. And just the fact that those rye bunnies just absolutely wrecked me. On the next night out, I went after more pals, but I wanted to try the other spawn point. See if I could get a different set of pals spawning. I was still not seeing those water pals for fluids. What was he doing? Why did he like be... Yes, he's doing it again. What is he... What are they... What is their problem? Dude, it's like as soon as they start... He's coming towards me. What is this? That is so not cool. Do they have a soft aggro or something? That is so not cool. Look, yeah, and now he walks away. I swear he is hunting me down. Please, please make it back. He's right there, walking in the water. What is that, dude? What the heck? Why was he just... He was just hunting me. I had a few more things to get for that armor, but by midday that day, I was able to get that upgrade. My next priority was getting ancient civilization parts, which I didn't know was the best way to go about. I was confident that those new bounties drop ancient parts, and since the level 12 Hawk always spawns in the same area, even on random mode, I had access to my first way to get them. At least that's what I was planning on. The next night run had me capturing some useful pals. The dinosums are so valuable that I had to risk going out when daytime was coming. I was in need of better wood choppers and better planters for berries. Then, after getting those alpacas, I decided to give them a try. Another pal I've never used other than for its wool. And let's just say, not a fan. Way too slow, too fragile. This thing is much better suited for farm work. I crafted a crossbow, and when night came around, I used it as an opportunity to travel the bounty. Something's fighting over there. We got to be careful. So we should be able to climb up like right here, though. So we'll actually go up just a little bit more. Maybe that's not smart. Maybe I just play it really safe and go to the other side here, just to avoid whatever's going on over there. All right, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's get this. I really need this. I really needed to drop the civilization parts, though. Let's hope that is the case. We're just going to do some... Oh, that just missed. And how did I miss that shot? What? Okay, it's just out of range. That's scary. I got to watch my back. 25 damage. Oh, no. There's no way we can do this. It's got to be all the pals. I did, like, no damage to him. This weapon is so weak. All right, Dinosum's doing work. We like that. I'll just back off. Let him do his thing. Good. Yeah. Hopefully he shoots at me. That's nice. All right, we got this. Should be pretty easy then. One more shot. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, did we get what we needed? Oh, no, we didn't. We got it. No, we didn't. No. Oh, see, what is this? Where is she? What? Like, where did she come from even? And we didn't even get what we needed. And my stamina. Wow, that glider is so bad. Thank God I got to jump off that bridge. Otherwise, I would have been screwed. So, I don't know why I thought that I could get that from the bounty. I swear I read that somewhere you could. I probably was just so desperate for it that I tried to wish it into existence. But the alternative, my next thought at least, was caves. Okay, these guys are friendly. But they are high level. So yeah, there's high level stuff spawning in the caves. I don't know if it's going to be worth my time checking. Any deeper? Yeah, might as well. Since they're friendly, let's push in a little bit. They are friendly, right? I really hope they're friendly. Catris is not friendly, though. See? There we go. They're already our first obstacle. Can't really go much further than this. So yeah, getting those ancient civilization parts is going to be an absolute nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So yeah, exploring and finding a fightable alpha pal was pretty much the only option at this point. I got some more tansies on the way home, and I started planning out a way to get more fast travels and more map opened up. My progress was solid, and I was starting to need more and more ore. So I spent a little time farming the ore in the safe zones near the settlement. I nearly escaped some super aggressive orchards. I learned that the spot is only semi-safe. The pals, if they are up top, they can still aggro to you. So that was something that I'd have to remember for future farming. But there's still 3 other nodes here to harvest safely, so even if that one is unavailable, I can still get more than I can carry. I knew I'd need more ore eventually, so my go-to spot in the past was always the desolate church. A ton of ore right near fast travel in what I thought to be a fairly safe area. So at nighttime, instead of going on a hunt, I pushed up toward the church with my alpaca. And since it took most of the night to get there, I unlocked it and came right back home. So now it was time to see what spawns there during the day, and if it's actually a safe place to get ore. Right here, those Grizzbolts were nearby, so we'll just have to be safe. Be careful, make sure, quick look around. Metal Merchant, that's it, that's it. No one else has spawned. We're safe. Okay, that was close. He's not going to attack me, as long as we don't attack him. Is there anything we can even get from him? I have 5 dog coins. Okay, so we can get this at least. I hear something walking around out there. There's Grizzbolt. See, I thought this area was safe, but you know what we can do is we can at least climb. Jolt Hawks, I can definitely get those. I definitely want to get those. Give me some. I don't think I have any electric pals, so that'd be really good. What's fighting? Shadowbeak. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting the fuck out of here. Oh my god. Oh, okay. That area is not safe. Wow. Oh my god, that scared the life out of me. Oh, wow. Yep, so Desolate Church is no longer an option for me. Never going back there. For now, I just kept using these safe nodes near the settlement, where no pals spawn. Then I had just my second raid since starting these challenges. Oh my god, okay. Alright, this is only my second raid, and the first time was really easy, so... Do I want to put my pals away? Or do I want to keep them out? I don't know, decisions. I should be safe. Last time the guys couldn't get down, but I don't know... if they're flyers, no, Dire House. Okay. Oh, thank God. They're level 3, 4. Oh, I just had a freaking heart attack there. We should be able to handle this no problem. Oh my God. And they do fall down. That really sucks. I kind of want to capture them though. Don't kill them all, please. Well, they're just dropping like flies. Literally. It's calming to know that these aren't going to be the death of me. Especially since they can get down here. That was annoying. Let's not kill him. Let's capture him. Whew. I almost had a heart attack. Oh my God, that raid scared the shit out of me. And look, that got us our level. Perfect. All right. Things were starting to get a little slow at base with crafting, so I bought a loot moon for his level 2 handiwork. Then, because I was so desperate for the civilization parts, I thought about attempting a cave again. Woolly pops. I could get those. Yeah, this would be good. Let's just make sure there's nothing else. Okay, so, oh, we got a level. Very nice. All right, so there's just kit gets over here. We can push up a little further. We really need those ancient civilization parts. All right, but it's all going to depend on what's in this second room. And then third, and then the fourth room. Oh, it was hiding. That was super lame. Oh, no. Okay, it's stuck. Oh, wow. How lame is that? It's actually stuck. I thought I was about to do that move and come through and hit me. Okay, so that sucks. I guess we're not going any deeper into the cave. Another failed cave attempt. I guess I can go back to the one near my base and try that one. I'll check this cave out first. And then I'll go back, get my fox, my fire pals, and then I'll try to take all 3 of them on. Because Loot Moon, I don't think is going to be able to handle all 3 of them. More woolly pops. What the heck? Well, yeah, I'll get them on the way out just for the XP. If I don't get lucky and able to make it all the way through. Incineram, yeah, that's not going to happen. And so is that, because there's another Flare's Aqua. So, yep. No luck on this one. Oh, it's right there, isn't it, too? Oh, could I get around him? Maybe I could sneak around him. This is really sketchy. I should not be doing this. The other thing, too, I don't know if the bosses spawn at random numbers. It's a 13 cave, so obviously all the pals inside are random, but I don't know if the actual boss is going to be random. So if I get over there and it's a high-level pal, I am totally screwed. This is really risky. Oh, my God. Please don't aggro me. Just stay all the way up against this wall. Turn you back. I'm going to wait. Playing this like stealth actually works. Okay, we're just going to go for it. Back is turned. I need my stamina back, though. Please don't. Please don't. Okay, I should be okay. I thought this led right to the boss, but it looks like I'm going to have to go into another room. I forgot the layout of these caves. It's been so long. No, it is another room. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, and there's one right above. Yeah, we can't make past that one. Son of a bitch. Why are there so many Flares Aqua in the caves? All right, now we got to go back. Okay, well, damn. Oh, man. I thought this was going to lead right to the boss. I didn't think I'd have to go through another room. I probably wouldn't have made that risk if... And now he's moved to... Wow, we are in a bad spot. This is not good. I screwed myself. I knew this was a bad idea. I might just have to take Malpaca and book it out. It's time to go. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta go. Risking it. Oh my God, this sucks. Malpaca is so freaking slow. Oh my God. Okay. We should be safe. Okay, we're alright. Malpaca is way too slow for that. Oh, there's different pals out here though. Oh no. Oh, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Yep. It's over. No, Malpaca, don't attack. Dude, that's going to get me killed. Try to get away, but she had freaking attacked instead. No, I can't ride her because she... that's so annoying. I'm gonna have to turn off attacks. That's so frustrating. I'm so lucky I didn't die right there. Oh, that was so dumb. Alright, that was sketchy as can be. So caves are still a problem. I need to get a better layout on them. Every time you come out, something else spawns too. So this is a problem. Like I could have just ran into something really dangerous out here. It wasn't those dinosaurs. Real cool game. Real cool. A Polaris Aqua in both the caves that I tried. And that's about the last time that I ever even attempt a cave in hardcore random mode. That meant I truly only had one option, to find those alpha pals. So I set out on my adventure, trying to stay as close to the water as possible and avoiding as many pal spawns as possible. But there is something that I just did not know. Oh, that's really not good. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. Oh, I can't get up, can I? Oh crap. Oh, I'm drowning. This is not good. This is not good. Oh no. Oh, is this gonna be it? Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my god, how did I let that happen? I was intentionally trying to land safely to regain stamina, but I clearly wasn't trying hard enough. Another very important lesson learned. After already spending about 13 hours and I don't even know how many deaths at this point, I knew I had to figure something out. I was getting really sick and tired of starting over, mostly because of the grind. Farming stone and wood and paldium early on is brutal and it takes forever on 1 times. And getting enough XP to get to a level where you can have a little defense, where you aren't getting one shot by everything, takes a lot of time. I started focusing a lot more, being extremely careful, 100% focus. I was locked in. I had my mic off for a lot of it because it was so repetitive. Doing the same things over and over wasn't exciting at all. But this next run started off the same. Get to the settlement, set up my base at the starting ruins, craft the basic tools, farm resources, buy some clothes. This time I was able to pick up that purple chest, so I had some gold. And before it even got dark, I had my armor and shield crafted. Something that in the previous runs took multiple days to do. I was definitely getting quicker at getting through the basics. At nighttime, my first capture was a Tansy, a perfect first pal, who happened to be right at the beginning spawn, so a lucky RNG to start. Thanks to those chests, I was also able to get wool for my bed. Then, more grinding. And on just my second day, I had something spawn in my backyard that may be even more important than a wool pal. Killamari. I've never actually used one of these before. In fact, it took me about 400 plus hours of playing Palworld before I ever even started using the Gale Claw like regularly. But I knew this thing would be essential for movement and traversal, so it definitely became a priority to get its partner skill unlocked. Then, Lift Monk spawned in my backyard. The RNG was really on my side for this run. A lot of low-level capturable pals right near my base, because right next to that was a Croagiro, level 3. Now I had multiple pals for most of my needs. I was still looking for kindling pals, but this had to be one of my luckiest starts yet. When night came, I went back on a night hunt. The RNG luck continued. With some Melpaca right out in the starting area, everything was going perfect, except I couldn't actually get them because some level 50 Sootsiers decided to crash the party. So back to base. Then I fast traveled to the settlement to check more pal spawns, and I found an Arsox. Perfect. Just what I needed so I can start cooking up those berries for quick and safe and easy XP. So I started getting my berry farm set up. But Paldium was still an issue. I had no choice but to make a daring daytime run to get some more. With patience though, I was able to get just a bit safely and back to base. I got my wood and stone pit set up, berries cooking, and continued leveling my base for more pal spots. And once again, since I was limited on what I can do during the day, I just helped work the farms. On the next night hunt, I got more Tansies, and then a Lamball. And now I don't have to buy wool, so that's great. And some rubies next. I was getting so crazy lucky with these spawns, getting all these perfect early easy game pals in this beginning area was insane. I was well on my way, but I still needed a good mining pal, because Paldium is still a problem, since getting stone is still a problem. Then during the day, like I do, it was more grinding and leveling up my base. I still needed some venom glands though to get the Killamari's glove crafted, but I prepped some arrows and spheres and I got ready for another night hunt. The perfect RNG continued, this time near the spawn. Rush roar. The miners I needed were ready and waiting. So I got a couple of those, and then some cows. It'll be a while before I need cakes, but having this early on will help keep my pals fed with something other than berries. And, well, I just still needed XP. And that was it. Nighttime is so short, you can really only do so much. I ended up going to the merchant to try and purchase those venom glands. And I sold off some of my cows since I really don't need that milk right now. And I got just enough to buy what I actually do need right now. Then back to base to craft it. But I was hit with another raid. This time, Toko. After the other raids, I wasn't worried about this one. 2 level 5 Tokos, I basically just ignored them, and they ended up despawning. I crafted Killamari gloves, and then I continued working the base until nighttime. This night hunt brought me a Celeray and a Fuwak, both things in that early spawn area. I'm just having the absolute best luck with these random spawns ever on this run. So having that Killamari was even better than I thought. Not only is it a million times better than the glider, I didn't know it has like a slight upward lift when you activate it. This was so surprising and helpful for traversal. I also didn't realize how much stamina it gives you, but it feels like you could fly forever with this thing, and it probably became my new #1 most important pal for this hardcore mode. I think it might be the most important pal for survivability, especially once you get the grappling hook. As good as the movement is though, it didn't stop me from focusing on trying to get a Nightwing. I really wanted that flyer, but the level 50 Faybreak Warrior annihilated the one that I was trying to go after. No chance I was going down there. At least I knew there was a spawn there, which meant that at some point it should spawn again. I upgraded to the Pelt Armor after buying some resources, then found myself again at a stopping point. I needed pal fluids to upgrade my base yet again, so I reluctantly butchered a few of my water pals to get that hot spring. I'd much rather keep all these pals since I don't have that many, but getting those base upgrades for extra pal slots is kind of priority right now. As long as I keep a couple of waterers for now, I'll be okay because I desperately need them for watering berry plantations and crushing stone to Paldium. At night, the Nightwing was back and everything else was sleepy, so I went after it. Now that I had them, I had to get level 15 though to unlock the saddle. I was only at 12, so a lot of XP was still needed. Back to the berry farm. Once I got one level, I got myself the crossbow crafted, a much needed upgrade for weaponry. Another Nightwing showed up down on the beach, so I got my third and more XP. On my next night hunt, I got a Gumoss, more Arsocks, and another level. Now, I was just one away from that Nightwing saddle. A Dinosum showed up in my backyard, another much needed upgrade to lumbering and planting. I was short on leather, so I had to use the merchant and sell off a few more pals to get some more leather. I was able to capture even more Arsocks. These things are just everywhere on this one. And on the next night hunt, Melpaca, the same ones as before that I couldn't capture, but they were back now. And while out there, it gave me just enough to get that level 15. But before going back, there was more XP to be captured. More Nightwings. I still had 12 to capture, so I might as well get some backups of these while I'm here. And back home, I got that saddle crafted immediately, and a much needed monitoring stand. Then finally, I was airborne. The whole world just became a whole lot safer, a whole lot more open. The Nightwing is absolutely essential for traversal, despite how slow it is, because it can get you up in the air and give you a good view of dangerous pals hiding around a corner. But most importantly, I can now travel safely on water. No drowning anymore. And I can avoid every single pal spawn by staying out on the ocean. This is the absolute must-best, safest way to travel and explore while in hardcore random. It's slow as hell, but safety is priority, and the whole map just opened up to me. I took this nighttime to explore a little. Because of how slow Nightwing is, you still have to be really careful, and its stamina is super low as well, but nighttime is definitely still my best friend because of all this. I wanted to open up the map though a little and unlock some more of those fast travels. I grabbed some effigies too in the process as well because capturing things was kind of hard, and some new pals. And then I built an expedition center. I couldn't actually use it because I needed to defeat a tower, but I needed it to level up my base. Out near the settlement, I was able to get a Pen King, a big upgrade for level 2 mining and watering, Then up to take on Hawk for that bounty and more exploring to see what pals I could get my hands on. I felt way more confident exploring during the day, so I started doing that a little bit more so that I didn't have to stand around doing nothing at base all day waiting for nighttime. I got Pen King number 2, Incineram. When night did come, I saw the next super important pal that I needed. 3 sleepy Kelpsies just waiting to be caught. I had some dangerous stuff nearby that I had to be careful of. I caught one, but I really wanted more. The menacing was protecting them though. I tried to get it from a distance, a very risky play, especially since that menacing was hit by a Kelpsie. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Fortunately, I got it with no issues, but I should know by now that that's more risk than I usually want to be taking. My armor was broken, my pal team hungry, and daylight was coming, so it was definitely time to go home. I got Kelpsies on the farm and I continued my daytime grind. I bought myself a loot moon for the level 2 handiwork, not realizing the Incineram I just caught has that as well. And when night came, I had another raid to deal with. The levels were still low, but I noticed more and more raiders were showing up. This one actually had me a bit concerned. They started doing more damage to my Nightwing than I was comfortable with. So unlike the raids before, this one I actually had to be careful with. But thanks to my cheeky base spot, it was really no major issue. It was a new day and I had some exploring to do. I took the long, slow, and safe journey across the water to unlock more fast travels and hopefully find myself an alpha pal I can fight. That's now #1 priority. Get those ancient civilization parts. But I needed a pal that I could actually take down. While out there, anything I could capture easily, I went after, but I was mostly focused on getting fast travels. When I saw an easy to capture level 5 Killamari, I made a terrible mistake. I accidentally hit one of the Rye Bunny Botan. Perfectly friendly pal, except you do not want to mess with a level 53 Rye Bunny. You definitely, absolutely do not want to mess with 3 of them. I was stuck. No Nightwing, deadly pals near that fast travel. I was trying to wait patiently for them to go away, to lose aggro, something. I was very panicked and not thinking clearly or paying full attention. I thought I was in the clear, but every time I went back up there, they were still aggroed, even though I couldn't see it in the indicator from where I was. I let my guard down for 2 seconds. I think I may have been changing the channel on my TV or something without even seeing them on my screen. They 2-shot me, one for the shield, and before I could get out of there, another one to die. I learned some very valuable, important lessons from this death. Number 1, don't fuck with Rye Bunny Botan. Number 2, there is no number 2, that's all you need to know. The start was the same. This run to the small settlement was getting pretty easy for me by now. I decided to switch things up with my base spot. Trees and stone farming was super annoying. I ended up putting my base up on this safe platform where there's more tree and stone spawns just across from the ruins. Thanks to the chest, I had my armor and shield crafted again before the first day was over. And on my first night, the first pals I got were Ruby and Chickapee. During the day while grinding, I was very pleased with my decision to put my base here. Having this wood and stone right here saves a ton of time grinding. On the next night, I got a Nightwing. Very lucky to get this early, but I needed a lot of XP before I could get the saddle. I was just happy though that a spawn was nearby. Galeclaw next and Capriti right after. The Capriti was nice because it drops berries on the farm, and since I don't have the farming pals all set up, it was a quick way to get that early XP from cooking them berries. The next night out, I caught a Loot Moon, Daydream, and Tombat. A little annoying though because all he wanted to do was pick up my eggs. I really needed it to mine stone, so I was once again looking to get to that level 15 ASAP, but this time more for the monitoring stand than the Nightwing saddle. The next night out, I got that Malpaca for wool, and I continued trying to get back to where I was before I died. Base improvements, leveling up, and the occasional bounty kill for more gold. Except I got ahead of myself with that bounty. I went in underpowered, and I didn't use 5 pals that probably could have done the job. I just had to do it myself. And well, From this death, I learned another very important lesson. Pay attention to your stamina. I jumped off that ledge to get my shield back, but with not enough stamina, I didn't want to fall, and by the time I climbed up, I couldn't escape. I couldn't jump, I couldn't climb. He destroyed me because I had no stamina. I should not have climbed back up there, and I should have just jumped down to safety. On my next attempt, I got farther than I ever have. Just kidding. My next attempt, I started the same, except I ran into a lamball on my way to the settlement, so I got a head start in the wool department, and my first night brought another wonderful RNG with tansies, and foxsparks, and fuwak, and rye bunny in my backyard. Basically, I had all the beginner pals I needed before the end of the first day, but I had another lesson to be learned. Some pals are morning pals, and they wake up early, even though I should have already learned this. These Goffins were those pals. I thought I had another few seconds to get some Paldia, but I was wrong. They woke up, and I could not escape in time. I had another strong start on the next run. First day I had armor and shield, and my first pal to capture on my first night was a Melpaca. But the spawns in my backyard were much worse this time. These high-level Vanworms are just about the worst thing to spawn back here because they're up high in the air, and they're probably more likely to aggro to my base pals. And me. And they're level 50. I stayed there for now, but I knew that this might be an issue. The next night out, a Tansy and a Cativa and a T-Fant, and I once again got back to building my berry farm to grind out that XP. I continued upgrades and grinding during the day and nighttime hunts. Spawns weren't great, so the next night out I was limited, but I got more Tansies, and I was struggling to find kindling pals, so I just cooked some berries myself. The progress was real slow because of this. I didn't want to wait till nighttime. I decided to see if I could hunt some things during the day. And when I tried to get myself a Swee, I was still a little underpowered, and I probably shouldn't have tried to fight two at once, because the freeze ability is just too devastating at this low of a level. I should have ran. I should have just ran. Why didn't I just run? Okay, let's do this one more time. Run to the small settlement, build my base in the ruins, craft some things, break some stones, buy some wool, make some clothes, chop some trees, capture some pals, chop more trees, break more stone, capture more pals, Vixie, Sparkit, Foxsparks, farm some berries, level up the base. Getting to this point was pretty routine. I could basically do it with my eyes closed. I've done it so many times now. This run had great RNG though. These Melpaca kept spawning in my backyard, which is great for wool, but I can also keep capturing them and sell them for gold later. And there were more lower level things that I could capture to get that XP faster within my limited area of travel. And there also seemed to be more non-hostile things of the ones that were high level. After just a couple of days, I was off to pretty much my best start yet. I had all the pals I needed, watering, planting, kindling, mining, thanks to the Depresso I got at night, and even had Vixies for those free spheres on the farm. And there were just a lot better spawns nearby. This run felt really good. I got a Toko from a raid, and a Hookrates just before the next night was over. Sadly, my Toko's life didn't last very long, because when they do their special ability, well, it's kamikaze. Save me, Toko. Save me! Oh, he's dead for good. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. And just like that, I was back to having my pelt armor. I continued to reap the benefits of my backyard spawns. Just unbelievable amazing luck with what is spawning back here. I had a dino some next, and I really needed to speed up my berry farming, and then more lift monk to help with that and get XP. I was leveling so much faster now that I could actually capture the pals. This was all thanks to luck. I was feeling so good about this run, I got maybe a little overconfident when I decided to take on a much higher level Azeroth. It was nighttime, so I knew I could fight it 1 versus 1 safely. I got my best electric pal out, who was only a spark hit, and let him fight. I cheesed him a little bit. He was getting the best of me, so I ran back to base, but when I came back, he was sleeping. I fully expected it to have despawned, but luckily he was asleep, and it gave me a little bit of an edge, but it was still a risky fight. Thankfully though, I did get him captured, and he was my first level 3 watering pal. This was much needed for Paldium. I was in need of weapon upgrades, so I got the crossbow. I also crafted a Foxsparks harness, and then I went to face off against my most recent nemesis, Hawk. He killed me last time I was up here, but I had a much better lineup. This time I just let my pals do most of the work. And then another quick trip to this encampment for a free pal. I ended up buying a pengullet. Pal fluids were an issue. I needed them for the hot spring to level up the base. I figured I could just butcher him if I needed to. Then at nighttime, I ran into some celery, which was also nice, but I was only able to capture one, and I didn't get that many fluids from it. Then amazingly, the next morning, my backyard's glorious spawn treated me yet again. Kelp seas, the answer to my pal fluids shortage. I was in shock at how good this spawn was. This was by far my luckiest run yet. I captured myself some kelpsies and some tansies and sweet and tossed them on the farm for those fluids. And not much later I got the hot spring built and leveled up my base yet again. The berry XP strategy was still my go-to method. I used it to get myself up to level 15 safely, but after that it starts to slow down in terms of effectiveness. During my night hunt, I used fox sparks to help me get a pen king, and then went to sell off a bunch of alpacas. Currently, my best way to get gold, because they keep spawning over and over in my backyard, which is actually great. And my backyard gave me more Vixies and some Rush Roar. This was insane. I didn't even need to go out at night. All this stuff just at my disposal in my backyard truly made the difference on this run. I set up my expedition station again to continue leveling my base. I upgraded to the Megasphere tier, caught myself a Nox and Jolt Hog at night, then back to base to get my best set of armor yet, the heat-resistant pelt armor. At this point, I think it was my best run so far. I still didn't have my Nightwing or my Killamari, two super important stepping stones, but the armor upgrades made me feel like I had never reached this level of progress. I had everything else I needed and I was feeling really good about this run. I got my monitor stand set up so that I could finally order my pals to do what I actually wanted them to do, and I went to kill Hawk again for another bounty. Then another Azerobe showed up, but this one came into my base, so a perfect opportunity to tame another level 3 Wanderer. I crafted Celery's glove since I didn't have a Killamari or a Gale Claw. Still so much better than the glider, but my movement abilities were only complete once I actually had the grappling hook. I needed ancient civilization parts, something I have not yet been able to do, because I can't do caves. They're just way too risky and scary with high level pals spawning in them. The only other option for me is to find an alpha pal, but exploring is really hard without a Nightwing. But then I noticed it, a level 11 sweeper alpha pal. Somewhat near my base, I could definitely make that trip on foot. At least that's what I was thinking. This was the first alpha pal in all my runs that was close enough within a level that I could actually fight. I knew that this was my first opportunity to get those ancient civilization parts. I just had to get out there. I captured a Hangyu, even though I couldn't use its ability for a while. Celery is going to have to do for now. But thanks to Celery, it gave me some confidence to do some daytime exploring. I just focused on avoiding pal spawns, which at this point I had gotten pretty good at learning where things spawn in and where it's actually safe. But being able to clear gaps like this and travel safely is huge. I explored a little more to see if there were any more alpha pals within range, but I didn't find anything, so I went back once I got to a fast travel because now it was nighttime. I was going to be making my move. I fast traveled to that second fast travel point and I headed north. I went up along the cliff to this first skill fruit tree. There seemed to be a safe path that way up, but everything was sleeping, so I was safe anyways. Then it wasn't much further from there. A quick glide and I saw him. But daylight was quickly approaching, and I didn't want to fight all these sleepy things nearby, not to mention this wide-awake pirate Noct. So I got the fast travel and then I went home to wait for the next night, hoping the pirate would be gone by then. My perfect RNG continued when I found a Killamari lurking in my backyard, right near those kelpsies that were so helpful, and everything else that is amazingly spawning back here. I got the gloves for it crafted later in the day, and I just spent the rest of the day cooking berries for XP, because I was just waiting for nighttime so that I could make my push to the Alpha Sweeper. Am I safe? Am I safe? Looks like I'm okay. Schumer Nox, we gotta get out of here. Schumer Nox. They didn't aggro to me? I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let's just be careful here. Ooh, there's some... Nope, we can't do it. Not tonight. Crap. Schumer there, and Schumer knocked at the bottom. Damn it. Alright, well, it's not happening tonight then. Schumer at the top of the stairs, Schumer knocked at the bottom of this there. Just my luck. Or just my luck. The Schumer weren't even sleeping too. I thought the Schumer knocked were the only nocturnal ones, but it doesn't appear to be that way. They didn't aggro to me, so I might be okay. This is really risky, but we're going to try it anyways, just in case they spawned a little bit further away, or I don't know. We're just going to try this one more time. God, if there was a way around them, though, I just don't want to risk it. Oh, they did. Oh, they did despawn. Okay, let's go. Okay, hopefully the ones at the top of the stairs are gone. The Shroom or Noct are gone. I don't know if these ones are going to be gone. I can't see. I can't see. Oh, they're sleeping. Okay, so they weren't. They must have been sleeping before too. But all right, we're just going to go for it. These guys will attack me, so I just got to be careful around here. All right, they will aggro to me. I got to stay away from them. All right, are we in the arena? Almost there. Just over this way. Okay, I see the sweeper. Oh, no, there's a Ragnarok. Oh, he's sleeping. Okay. Okay. The Ragnarok is sleeping. Let's see if there's anything else. We might be able to get this. No Pyra knocked. Sleeping. Liza B. Ooh, is she sleeping? She is. Okay. Oh, it's not like the one near my base, and she's actually sleeping. Okay. All right, we just got to make sure not to hit Ragnarok. We're going to start with our Fox Sparks and go... just try to do some damage right off the bat, I guess. Oh, yeah. Okay. We can just kill it like this. Let's go. Just don't wake anyone up. Come on, finish him off. Oh, we're safe. Let's go. Oh, we got 7 parts for that. I thought I was only going to get 1 and I was going to have to farm it. Oh, my God. We're going home. Okay. Don't celebrate yet. We still got to get back home. Oh, my God. I'm so nervous now. Oh, I just want to get back so bad. Nothing here. I should be able to glide down to safety. 7 parts. I was not expecting to get 7 parts. That's so clutch. Yes. Oh, my God. We did it. Okay. Getting those ancient civilization parts was huge. It was the bottleneck I was facing and marked my furthest point of progress. Now I could craft a grappling hook and start getting into egg incubating. And a better shield, too. I started with the grappling gun, and I just had enough parts to set up a few incubators as well. Then I tossed in the few eggs I had from collecting out in the wild while exploring, and had to patiently wait for my first round of non-boosted eggs. Thankfully, small eggs don't take that long, but now that I had this set up, I knew I'd be making it a point to grab every egg I can, and also actively going out and searching for them. I checked the 2 locations where I know they spawn. What's nice about the eggs is they always spawn in the same spot, so I can regularly farm these now once I know of the locations. Then a quick kill of Hawk for more bounty, since I was over there, and a new pal, Fuddler, I freed from his cage, and another egg. When I hatched them, nothing super useful, but it was free XP. I had 1 level to go for the breeding farm, so I was very focused on getting that. Once I could do that, I didn't have to depend on RNG to get pals I needed. I could just breed them. Well, that is, once I get my hands on some bees for honey. Just before the night I was scouting, there was an Eliza bee near the spawn entrance. She was quite a bit higher level than me, so I couldn't really fight her, but I wanted to get my hands on her eventually because she drops honey. Even if she can't go on the farm, I knew it would be a good opportunity to get my first few cakes soon. Once things went asleep, I did my normal night hunting. Now that I was searching for eggs too, I did some more exploring as well. And I realized something. I don't even need a Nightwing. In fact, I don't really need a flyer at all. With Killamari and the grappling hook, I can travel faster and farther than pretty much any mount, except maybe a Jetragon. But seriously, this is the absolute best traversal method until maybe late game. I was set. I unlocked the Desolate Church and then went home because daylight was coming. During day, I got an Arsox out front and a Pedalia. Now that I had the grappling and gliding ability, I felt a lot safer exploring during daytime. So that's what I did, but only to a certain extent. I was still very careful. Then I had some new pals in the incubators, and eventually I got my breeding farm set up. I made a risky capture trying to get those Malchris, who were much higher level than me, but I really needed those ice organs, like desperately. The next base upgrade required a cooler box, and I didn't have enough for it. I was needing that extra pal slot too, because I was once again at a bottleneck. So I made a risky play to get these Malchris, who were much higher level than me, and I was able to capture one. I had some Pen Kings, but I didn't want to butcher them for their organs because I needed their level 2 mining more than I needed to upgrade my base. When nighttime hit, I went back out for another Sweepa slaying to get more parts. Then I butchered my new kitty and a Pangullet to get just enough ice organs for my cooler box, and I upgraded. Now that I had easy access to civilization parts, I crafted more things. I got my upgraded shield made for better protection and a second grappling gun. I had to buy some wheat, and while at the settlement, I got my hands on a Godfin. Thanks to my guy Pen King, absolutely one of my favorite early game pals. Has level 2 suitability and is really strong. I used him for a lot of combat early on. Another reason I didn't want to sell him or butcher him for those ice organs. I got into the next tier of spheres, the Gigasphere, and kept upgrading my base. I had unlocked access to a second base, but I wasn't sure where to put it. I was tempted to put it back along the river where it's safe, and there's this one ore node that my pals could auto farm. But as I continued exploring, I found this lovely ore spot. I've never used this for ore. It was always the Desolate Church for me, so this was a surprising and perfect location. Next day I had more eggs going. Thanks to a simple fire, it's easy to cut the time in half for larger eggs. I kept up with capturing whatever pals spawned in my backyard, and it continued to bless me with perfect pals. But I made a nearly deadly mistake, and I learned another valuable lesson. Be careful with your spheres. If you hit the wrong target, you could piss off the wrong pal. A level 42 Lulu is not someone I wanted to mess with. Thanks to my newly crafted shield, I was able to take one hit at a time, but she had still almost wholly bursted my ass back to the beginning. And in a panic, while trying to get the hell out of there, I almost fell into the water. The grappling hook single-handedly saved my life twice, right there, getting away from Lulu and then not falling into the water. I destroyed and rebuilt my second base just so I could teleport back home safely and catch my breath. Once again, this game nearly caused me a heart attack. After that scare, it was time to chill and get some things done at base, safely. At night, it was more pals, more civilization parts, and then the next day, after I had calmed down and regained some courage, I decided to take on the level 28 Eliza Bee in my front yard. I had Fox Sparks with Ferocious, and I used his saddle to do the damage. And since I had Gigaspheres and have been keeping up with some Lift Monk effigy leveling, I had a decent capture rate and enough spheres to get her. She can't be put on the farm, but she gave me 5 honey. That's enough for 2 cakes. I bought the rest of the ingredients and I put my Arsox and my best Kindler to work, but it was going to take a while. And I actually didn't even make a bee guard first, which is definitely what I should have done so that I could get more honey. I guess I felt I had something more important. As much as I loved the grappling hook and glider, I still can't go over water safely without worrying about running out of stamina and drowning. So it was time to cook up a Nightwing. I put Eliza Bee and Azerob together to get my first flyer. By the time the two had mated, the first cake was ready and I got my egg. While waiting, since it was night, I went out on another hunt. And by morning, I had it. Now, the saddle. I hatched some more eggs, got a Flambell, which I could use for flame organs on the farm. These eggs were becoming super useful, and it definitely made me want to go hyper-focused on breeding every pal that I needed. Having the Nightwing made accessing my backyard a lot quicker, which just opened things up more for me to capture those easy pals. There was another item I wanted to secure, high-quality pal oil. I decided to put my Nightwing on the farm with Depresso to get a Dumud, who I could put on my farm. Again, should have gotten a bee guard here now that I was out of honey, but I wasn't thinking. Since I had my Nightwing, it was time to do more exploring safely. I wanted to make my way out to Mount Obsidian for the eventual sulfur that I would be needing. I also wanted to check the merchant because I couldn't remember if they sold ice organs. And the third thing I wanted was better eggs. Now that I could incubate, there's a good chance I could find myself some really nice fire pals out there. So I made the very long but safe trip over the water. I didn't get my ice organs from this merchant, but I did do some good exploring. I got some good eggs and it was a successful journey. When I got back, it was time to start setting up my ore base. I didn't know how effective these wood walls were actually going to be, but I had to secure it. I couldn't just have random pals walking into my base, so I spent the time putting them up. After needing more honey, I knew I had the Eliza Bee spawn out front, so when I had the opportunity, I went for a resupply. Then when I had all my ingredients, again, I finally got what should have been my very first bred pal. I put Pengullet and Arsox on the farm to get a bee guard. One of the eggs I got from Mount Obsidian turned out to be a Pyrin. That was nice. Never really used them, but I'll tell you now, it became a very valuable and favored pal of mine. The normal grind and routine continued for a while, until my bee was ready. I upgraded things like my weapons along the way, which made killing that sweeper even easier. Another benefit of those pals are their parts that you can sell. I put whatever noble pals that I had on me, and then I sold off some goods. I was still hungry for gold, and I didn't have a great way to get it yet, so this was a nice haul. Then another large egg from Mount Obsidian hatched. It was a Blaze Howl Noct. I now had a level 3 kindling pal. This was so nice for cakes, and perfect timing too, because I was just getting into that phase. I made even more upgrades to my armor, and I got into the metal armor tier. I was pretty locked into the grind, trying to get XP and level up my base. I even went back to the berry method for XP. I had space in my base and I was waiting on some eggs to hatch, so I figured why not? Every bit of XP helps, even though at this level it's very small gains, but passive XP is good XP. I made mozzarella for those cakes since I didn't have much gold to buy it, but chickpea weirdly can only be bred with itself, so I was still in search of those. I ended up adding a Petalia to my squad. She's been great for her farming skills, but I've never really had a chance to use her as a partner pal, and her partner skill ability gives you health. Blessing of the Flower Spirit. In a situation where I'm desperate for health, she could potentially save my life. So she felt like a good pal to focus on and add to my team. I finally got my fluffy pal beds, which was sort of a grind to get to that level, and then leveled up my base again. I had even more new pals spawn in my backyard. After breeding these 2 bees, I finally saw some in the wild. It was nice to add more without breeding. I took another trip to Mount Obsidian to egg hunt. And in my backyard again, Petalia, who I was just starting to focus on and wanted more to condense one. So perfect timing. And a Mossanda, which will soon become one of my favorite pals. I'm telling you, this game is handing this run to me. If I don't make it to the end on this one, I might never get this lucky again. It was finally the day, my first tower. The goal the whole time was to be as overpowered as I possibly could going into these. Because only one person comes out. It's me or them. There's no running here. It's either win or die. And I was definitely way past the recommended level to do this fight. I had to do it at some time. So now was that time. I'm just going to let him do his thing and just try to do as little damage as possible from my character and just let my pals do their thing, because I really don't care if they die. Wouldn't be that big of a deal. I mean, I guess he's taking all the damage. That's all I want. I guess I have a pistol. I might as well use it. So if I do too much damage, I think he attacks whoever's doing more damage. So if I do too much damage, he'll start attacking me. But we're already halfway, so this is... I don't know why I'm shooting... Okay, this is so stupid. I'm literally reloading after 2 shots like I'm shooting the plasma cannon. I'm just so used to using that. It's so funny. Mud's doing all the work himself. I don't even need to pull him. I don't need to even manage him. He's just literally just tanking the hits and doing damage back. First boss win, let's go. First tower win, all right. Oh, those ancient technology points are huge. I didn't even think about that. That's the best thing about doing this. I was feeling really good about progress and being at my furthest point yet. I continued on with the grind and working towards that next tower. I got another armor upgrade, the heat resistant metal armor, and helped my Pen King out with some mining. I was still in need of more and better mining pals, but for now, this is what I had to do. I got more Petalias at night in my front yard, and then an opportunity to use one. I was trying to capture this stronger than me Catras, and she was starting to do some work, but instead of running, I tested out Petalia's partner skill. It heals for 400 at level 1. That's almost a third of my current health. So she was a nice pal to have on the team for emergencies, but still that fight, I should not have taken it, and I should have ran away. I definitely got a little lucky with this one by not dying. I put up my condenser, then more incubators, and finally I got my hands on a chickpea. Except I had to buy one because I still haven't seen one and you just can't breed them. But those eggs were running out and my gold supply was still lacking, so it was a much needed purchase. And as it goes with luck, I found some very shortly after out in the wild on my next run. But I needed more anyway, so I'm not mad about it. It's just funny how things work like that. Then I caught myself a couple of Grizzbolts and pushed out a little further into the day safely to get more fast travels unlocked, opting for my glider over Nightwing because it's just so much better. I got up a ways, but I headed back to check on some eggs. I had bred a Fellbat because recently I discovered her lifesteal partner effect, and she was really effective for me on my main save. So I had the idea of creating one of those that I could use because Batalia's ability would eventually be limited, so I wanted something to give me heals in combat. Then, another PAL I've never used before. I didn't have a whole lot for combat, so I was testing what I had, and I discovered one of my new favorite PALs. I had no idea Mosanda's grenade launcher was so effective. It was the same knockdown as a rocket launcher or Jetragon's ability, for example, but you can craft his saddle really early on, at least relatively, and he is super effective early to mid-game PALs to have. Also, a really good way to farm trees. After gaining more and more levels, I finally had the confidence to take on my next Alpha PAL. It was this level 23 Brongeri. I still do such little damage, but my pals can take care of the fights. I got an easy victory and some more parts. My base was starting to get cramped, really cramped, and I needed more space. So I took some time to try to expand, but I always have the same problem with building. I'm very indecisive. I didn't want to spend multiple days on this, so I wasted some time, then I changed my mind, and then I took it all down, only because it was just not working for me. It wasn't flush to the ledge, and it was causing me so much anxiety, so I decided that I would eventually just move to a new location when space gets really bad, like even worse than it already is. Still, I wasted a lot of the day. At night, I did more exploring and uncovered more of the map. I made my way up to the desert and got that fast travel. I was going to try to push up the dune shelter, but I didn't want to during the day, so I went back for now. I got another base upgrade, and I was now one away from the max number of pals and my third base. But the things I needed were far away, so I knew I would need a lot of XP grinding to get there. I had another raid. They were definitely starting to get harder. The levels were more comparable to mine, and they kept coming in bigger and bigger waves. I used my Mossanda to take care of things, but still, I was surprised by how much they were hitting me. I ran my first expedition now that I had the first tower beaten. I upgraded my grappling gun to the Mega, and at night, I made my way back to the desert. I was distracted by a meteor, though. I quickly wanted to capture those Xenovators since I didn't have any, and I got this worthless meteorite. I'm honestly still not sure what this stuff is even good for. Then I tried to push up further, but it was too cold at night. I had fox sparks to keep me warm, but luckily that meteor distracted me for just long enough that the day was on the horizon and it warmed me up anyways. I safely made my way up to the dune shelter, where I could now buy ice organs, which is exactly what I did next. Then I crafted some cold armor with it, and I was even able to level up my Fellbat to level 2 after catching a few in the wild in the desert. I was trying to get my way up to that alpha chillet spawn, so I explored some more, including another cave. And I don't like that this Blaze Howl's out here, because if I have to run for my life and leave, he could be sitting right at the exit. Alright, whatever, let's just go in and do this. Alright, I don't even think I need to do this, but I just kind of want to see if I can complete one. Because there's other ways to get these resources, so... Yep, see, that's where we run. I'm not even going to look what level they're at. There's a vanworm sitting at the... I bet you they're level 50. That's why we don't do caves. That's exactly why we don't do caves. Oh my god, okay. That lasted real long. Thankfully, the Blaze Howl is gone. We got our Spark Kit spawned in, so that's good. I was in desperate need of better miners, so I put some pals on the breeding farm to make dig toys. Options were limited, so I grabbed what I could and I put what I had on the breeding farm for my first level 3 miner, because I was still mining ore manually. Then, at night, I wanted to continue my push towards Chillet, but I was stopped in my tracks. Oh my god, not safe. Oh my god. I don't know how he didn't aggro to me. Oh my god. That's... It didn't... Nothing... Oh my god. Holy crap. Oh, we're safe. I can breathe. I took a different route, but I kept running into dangerous things, and it took forever to get up there. When I did, well, I had to try and capture it. But I was not thorough in checking my surroundings. Oh no, Catris! Oh no, 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 no! Oh no, 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 no! Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh god. Oh my god. Okay, I didn't even see them. We gotta run. Forget the Chillet, bro. Oh my god, I lost Nightwing. I don't even care. I just want to get the fuck out of here. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Don't run into anything bad either. Oh, we got the Griswold. I don't even care. Oh my god. Woo, I think we're safe. No, we're never safe. We're never safe till we're back at base. Oh my god, okay. Let's just find the fast travel. This is the problem with losing your Nightwing. I have no way to get out of here. Oh my god, and I'm on flat land, so I can't even use my glider. Oh, my heart is racing. Okay, I'm safe up here for now. How do I get out of here? There's no... Wait a minute. Mossanda, you're slow, but it gives me a good view when I'm on his back. I can see more. Use this little floating ability. Okay, let's just try to get somewhere safe. I don't know what to do. I gotta find a fast travel. I don't know which way to go. Do I want to just go back? That's why I had to check the area before I even started attacking. I thought the Griswold was the only thing. Okay, we're safe right here. Well, at least the... Oh, it's a Yormintide. Never mind. There's just stuff everywhere. I need to get out of here. I don't know which way to go. Oh, okay. All right, fast travel. We found our exit point. We found our extraction point. All right, we got to beeline it to that. I can't see anything. Oh, you know what I can do? And in fact, this reminds me right now. It's probably dumb to do it right now. Just because, you know, I'm not safe, but we got to just, because I'm going to forget. This guy, he needs a name. Because this is what he does. This is what he does, man. This is what he does. Oh, the leg! Holy shit! The leg is so bad. Holy crap. I think that name is so appropriate. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh, this is insane. Okay, be careful because I just attacked some things. Oh no, I attacked. Oh god. And it's so stuttery with all that wood. Okay, that was so stupid. I got so excited. If I die because I was just messing around, we're getting out of there. Those Kickets, they would kill me for sure. I thought I had another Nightwing, but when I checked, well, that was my only one. So I was once again grounded. I put the pals on the farm to get another. Once I got my first egg, I was in need of more cakes. But ingredients weren't the problem. It was time. I needed better chefs. So I sorted through my pals to see what I could come up with. Options were pretty limited though. I did, however, upgrade in the handiwork realm and I started breeding some level 3 handiworkers, Wixen. At night, I went up to another alpha pal and I took on Catris. But alright, I want to see what Mossanda can do. Yes, dude, I love this guy. I love Mossanda so much. Oh, I can't believe I never got to use him before. I'm just toying with Catris now. We're just messing. We're trolling her, bro. Come on, come on. Eat missiles! I love this thing, dude. Oh, it's so fun to use. Oh, it doesn't stun her. What? That's weird. Is that a thing? Your bosses can't get stunned? Let's see. This is easy. We're just toying with her. We'll try to capture her. I almost killed her, but I do want to capture her. Good job, deforestation. You did work. You did work. I'm so happy. He's so happy. I was sort of running into a bottleneck again. This time it was with leveling. I really wanted that Pyron saddle, the Giga grappling gun, and the weapons assembly. So it made me go back to my berry farming method. Even though it wasn't that efficient, I wanted to do some XP grinding safely. After that recent scare, I felt I needed a chill day of getting XP. So I set up my base with as many farms as I could, and I put the best pals for the job. With almost 2,000 berries, that'd be nearly 10,000 XP, and at the time that was close to a quarter of what I needed for my next level. Having a handgun makes life easier, at least in Palworld. I got more stuff at night that I needed. Battalia, Fox Sparks, Hang Yous, and some deer. That is until the Mao Chris decided to seek their revenge on me. I wasn't about to risk my life for some crystal kitties. I got the F out of there. I gave a T-Fance a test, but he only heals for 200, so Battalia was definitely the way to go in that department. My dig toys finally hatched, and then I realized I could have been using the Vanworm saddle all along. I hatched one from an egg on my first trip to Mount Obsidian, and I didn't even know I had it. So I made that saddle. I finished off my leveling with capturing pals in my backyard to get to that next level, and not much later my Wixens were ready. Now I had level 3 handiworkers who could double up as cookers. Then, after selling some more junk for gold, I could buy the rest of the ingredients I needed to get that Pyron saddle. That was my first time using a Pyron. Ever! I had no idea they were that fast. Like, they're as fast as Fanglope. That had to be one of the fastest ground mounts for sure. And I didn't even know about the partner ability changing your attack to fire, just like the Ragnarok does. He quickly became one of my new favorite pals. Mossanda, Killamari, Pyron. I was loving that I was discovering some new pals and their greatness. Then, after instantly falling in love, I saw the Noct, and I just couldn't say no. Breeding was so valuable, I had to ramp things up. I began the process of expanding my mine base and turned it into a breeding/mining base. It was so ugly, like so ugly. I couldn't stand it, but I was being practical and just trying not to waste time. I got as much done as I could quickly so I could start breeding more and more, mostly for levels and XP because I was already starting to feel that grind and I knew it would only get worse. I went to the fast travel that I unlocked on Mount Obsidian to my sulfur spot. It's a pretty safe spot there. There's not really any danger here, so I wasn't paying much attention at the time. I've used this spot many times before, including when they never had a sulfur mine in the game. This becomes important later, but for now, I got what I could because I was chewing through that handgun ammo. I started moving my incubators over to my mining base and had it set up with some pals that I could get XP for. I haven't done it much since the beginning when I was afraid of nighttime, but I slept through the night. I was finally at a point where I needed my pals to be awake. I had so much going on at my bases, I didn't even need to leave it. Most importantly, my breeders. I can't have them sleeping when I need them, well, sleeping with each other. Once I put that high quality hot spring up, I knew it was time to move. Things were getting unbearable. But once I unlocked the next level, I'll have 3 bases and I can move all my stuff a lot easier. So I was kind of waiting on that. I literally just waited for eggs to hatch because I was in need of one more level. Certainly the easiest way to get XP, but not all that exciting. I got my level, I got the weapons assembly line unlocked, crafted, and then leveled up my base. So now the question becomes, where do I put my base? Well, I'm gonna need coal soon, and I won't have a coal mine for a long time since I won't be doing that tower boss for a while longer. I went to where I've gone in the past, the Anubis statue at Mount Obsidian. It's a nice spot. There's a few egg spawns here. There's safe high ground. There's a skill fruit tree nearby, and it's got a view. It was a favorite spot of mine in the past, so why not? Also, I just got a nice supply drop. Not that that's a regular spawn here, but I was feeling good and feeling really lucky about this location. All right, so let me just land, get this egg here. Regain a little stamina too. Let's see, let's use this stamina elixir, might as well while we rest. How much does that bump it up? Oh, that's pretty significant. That's really significant, okay. That's a nice get, I'm glad I got that. We'll definitely have to try to get more of those supply drops just because that is super useful. Oh, what? I'm hot. Oh my god. Okay, it's time to go. Time to go. Oh no. Oh, come on, please. Come on. Oh my god. This is gonna be so close. Oh my god. Oh, please, please, please. Anywhere, anywhere, anywhere to go. Come on. Oh no. What? Oh my god. How? How did that just happen? Oh my god. No. I was in shock. I sat on that death screen in silence, forever pondering. How was that even possible? I was just out there with the same armor, farming sulfur in the blistering heat, right next to a freaking volcano. Did the temperature change each day? Was there something that I didn't know? It took me a full day in real life to figure out what happened. It was the vanworm. The fire pal gives off heat. That was the difference between this time and any other time I had been out there. I knew fox sparks and even Pyron gave off heat, but they also glow. Vanworm doesn't glow. I guess I confused light with heat. Maybe I need to go back to school. But that was a tough loss. Considering I'll never have that much luck again with those pal spawns. Considering that was by far my furthest progress ever. Considering I had spent 44 hours so far with nothing to show for it. But wait, 44 hours, that wasn't 50 hours. That meant I could still make this happen in my goal of 100 hours. And I even had a 6-hour window for more failures. I picked my head back up and I got to work. Day 1. You know the drill. This time went a little different though. I just couldn't do that grind anymore. So I started at this platform area again because it truly is much easier to get wood and stone here. Like a lot easier. Continuing on, I got my Killamari very early as a priority. Vixie for free spheres. And then I got to work farming that berry XP. Did you know this about Killamari? It's also a watering pal. And I kinda wish it wasn't. I got chickpeas much earlier on this time and were useful to double as food, but they also gave an early jump on cake production, a very early jump. It was kind of hard going back to the night runs. I had just started feeling very confident going out during the day, so being forced to wait until night again was annoying. At least I had a beautiful moonrise to watch. I got lucky early on also with some kelp seeds, which can often be a bottleneck, getting those pal fluids. It was not this time. I was more focused on leveling faster this time, so more capturing of pals and as much berry farming as early on as possible. My first raid brought some Lovander. I haven't even seen these yet, but I definitely wanted to capture them. They also have lifesteal. Because it was an early raid, it was low level and an easy capture. Also, this spot is perfect for raids. And down on the beach, I got my Nightwing 4 levels before I could use it. I was on a roll and I was getting everything I needed, including that XP, a lot faster this time. My experience was clearly paying off and I was being very efficient, trying to get back to where I just was. I was cruising through levels and capturing everything for XP. I had level 15 and the Nightwing saddle in my fastest time yet, but my real goal was the breeding farm at 19 to speed that up even more. I did not have the ice organ bottleneck this time because I caught some pengullets and penkings, and I even freed a Mount Chris from its cage. However, I did run into the ancient civilization problem. I had to find an alpha pal that I could defeat. I spent some days doing the same things before, getting eggs where I knew they spawned and setting up my second base. I had forgotten you can butcher alpha pals and get civilization parts that way, and I really can't remember doing it, but I realized I had 2, and it was definitely from butchering an alpha pal. So I set up my first incubator to hatch the eggs that I have been getting in the wild. I was level 19 too, but I didn't have any honey yet. I already had everything else, and I just got Mozzarina, so I built the farm anyways. Eventually, a night run. I found my first bee. But I was getting humbled by this thing, so I didn't get a chance to capture it. I still got some honey though. 2, enough for 1 cake. And you already know which pal I'm breeding first this time. I had a Univolt and a Cativa to put together to make a bee guard. And while I waited for my bee, I had to go find those civilization parts. My first good opportunity was a fellow Nightwing, level 18 alpha. I was a couple levels higher than it, so it should be easy. Pen King accidentally killed it though, and I left there with no parts because, well, I forgot to pick them up off the ground. But I did get a Failbat right nearby as I was on my way back, which I planned to breed again. Then once Bee Guard was ready, I put her on the farm immediately for that honey. The next night, I had the realization that the parts were probably just on the ground and I didn't pick them up. To my joy, they were still there a full day later, and so was the Nightwing who spawned in again. So I picked myself up 11 parts and I crafted myself a grappling gun. I was back, baby. Oh, it's good to be back. God, this movement just feels so good. Now that I had my movement capabilities restored, it was time to open up the map. I went back to Mount Obsidian to get the small settlement unlocked and more importantly, the tower so I had easy access to sulfur. I picked up a supply drop again while there and I got some nice loot from it. Then, once daylight came, I sat and I waited by fast travel to see if I got hot. At this point, I still wasn't 100% sure why I died from the heat, so I was playing it very safe. I realized I was fine. I mean, I even brought a Pen King with me to help keep me cool just in case, because I was not going to let that happen again. I got a thermal undershirt too from that drop, so another way to make sure that I never die from temperature. I definitely learned my lesson. I was getting into baking more cakes, so I went back to seek out more fire eggs because I needed a level 3 kindling pal, or better. It's way too slow to bake cakes without one. I hatched another vanworm, and it was here where I actually realized that it was making me hot. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my god. Then I finally got a Reptyro and I put him on chef duty, and I was able to speed up the cake production quite a bit and get tons of eggs hatched for that glorious XP. I had also been doing a lot more egg hunting this time and saving eggs from the beginning, so I had a lot more from the wild to hatch as well. I continued to speedrun capturing pals for XP and exploring as much as I could. I uncovered the level 11 sweeper, even though I was a higher level and I could still take on stronger alphas. This still turned out to be the best one, even at the higher levels, and well, I'll get to why later. But I was going hard on the XP. I had as many incubators going, filled with eggs constantly, and while I waited for the eggs, I went out capturing every pal I could. And with my movement capabilities back, I didn't have to wait until nighttime. This made the XP grind go relatively fast. I built up my second base again for breeding and mining purposes. I built in wood because I low-key hope it all burns to the ground. I'm still seriously embarrassed by how ugly this thing is, but I don't have time to make it look pretty. I was moving. Then I had a thought. I was capturing a whole bunch of pals. I could probably start breeding for my endgame pals. I looked up how to make an Anubis, and sure enough, I had what I needed. Reptyro and Dinosum. Anubis are actually easy to make. There's a lot of combos, so I probably could have done this earlier. But once I caught on, I knew I needed the best base pals. It's a 2-hour egg though, so even with 100% incubation, I still had an hour to wait for that bad boy. I continued to capture everything in my sights until it was time to get back to the first tower again. I was more than prepared for this, so I made quick work of them with Pen King. Still at this point, one of my strongest pals. I knew I'd be needing upgrades in the combat department soon though. Once Anubis hatched, he joined the party immediately. Unfortunately, he had Hooligan, but still it's better than any handy worker that I have. I got my handgun back. I had my heat-resistant metal armor back. Even though I wasn't at the same level as I was before, I definitely felt like my progress was further along, and things were going really well. In fact, it was going so well, I decided to organize my base. Not something I have done in the past because I didn't want to waste time, and everything always felt temporary. But this is really the first time that I felt so good about my run that I was confident that I could make it to the end. So I invested time in organizing because I felt like I was going to be here for a little while. I finally got my Pyron saddle back for my new favorite ground mount. Then I needed more incubators, so that meant more parts. I had to find more alpha pals so I could get more each time before they respawn, but I noticed when I got the Pen King, it only gave me 3. Then Gumos, only 1. This is when I started to notice the value of that level 11 sweeper. After testing multiple alpha pals later on, I realized that sweeper gives you more parts than pretty much everything that I came across, even the higher level alpha pals. So I never realized how lucky I was on that last run to run into a sweeper, because on this run, it still became my best way to get ancient civilization parts. But I was working out a good route to be able to capture a bunch quickly for more parts, so that I could just spam my base with egg incubators and hurry this XP grind along. I hatched myself a beacon because I was looking for a better flyer, not named Vanworm, and I continued upgrading and expanding my base, as well as capturing more and more pals. I was definitely feeling the grindy nature of leveling up at this point, but I was making good time, and eventually I got my compound bow, something I was looking forward to last time, but I never got the chance. A weapon that I've never used ever, so I was excited to give it a try. I gave my Mossanda a slight upgrade at the condenser, and I was finally feeling fully back. I had my combat pals, I had my traversal pals, I was higher level than I had been, and I had my breeding game working strong. I just needed a bit more gold, but I wasn't that far away from the gold assembly line, so it was just an intense grind of leveling from here. I got my beacon saddle crafted for an upgrade in flight, and I was able to get into the next tier metal and crafted my improved furnace, which meant I was going to need coal, and to get that coal I'd need better miners probably. Why not go after a level 4 miner? So I looked through the breeding combos and my pal box, and I came up with a plan. I put Grisbolt and Eliza B together to get myself a Knocklum, a level 4 miner who's actually breedable, and I had to start thinking about the endgame too. I wanted to make a squad of pals that I could use for every fight. I don't have time to breed individual pals or boost them specifically for each tower, so my thought was to use one of the strongest pals, Knocklum. His partner ability, Steel Reserve, does boosted damage and defense. I figured he'd be a really good all-around pal that I could use at my base and for combat. So I knew I'd be mass breeding these guys, but I had to get one first. I got them on the farm, waiting for the egg. Then I needed more of those level 3 kindlers because I was making more and more cakes. I put Mossanda Lux and Pyron together for a Ragnarok. I condensed my Killamari to give it a slight boost, but I'm not really sure. I couldn't tell much of a difference on level 1 versus level 2. Who cares though? Level 1 is still so good. I took Beacon out for exploring. Way better than Nightwing, but still nothing compares to the Glide and Grapple. And, well, maybe Jetragon. I was on a hunt for a coal base. I checked the couple spots I know, but I settled on the famous coal and ore spot that from the beginning everybody had as a favorite or a best space spot because of the abundance of ore and coal. A good place that I could auto farm both resources since I won't be having those mining sites unlocked for quite a while. While waiting for my Noclum miners to hatch, I made something out of the mining base. Then I added them to the base along with Mossanda to chop those trees. I still needed additional wood for things. And Hang You to help carry things, but Noclum is a level 4 transporter as well. Once I have more, he can take over that duty too. He is super useful for so many things. I had a bunch of coal thanks to my dig toys, and I started smelting that refined ingot. More trips to Alpha Palace to get more civilization parts. Sweepa, still being the best. Patalia only gave me 2. I made a Fanglope saddle because as much as I love Pirate, having the double jump would make exploring a little bit easier, specifically for Faybreak, which I had every intention of going to. And there's no way I was going to risk bringing a flyer there. At night, I got Bushi Alpha, only 4 parts. So Sweepa, still the king. Broncherry, 3 parts. All these parts were mostly going towards more incubators, but a few went to other things like this level 1 refined metal armor, which was a nice find from, well, I don't even remember where. A chest somewhere, probably while exploring. I was level 36. I had just gotten a big upgrade to my armor. I had some pretty strong fighting pals for my level. I think it was long overdue for that second tower fight. More than anything though, I needed the ore mining site, which is unlocked from defeating Lily and Lylene. So I went into that fight with my best team and plenty of handgun ammo and arrows. My Pyren, giving me that fire damage change, was a nice addition. I started using the compound bow more and more, but I think the handgun still wins my favor. She did a surprising amount of damage to me, but overall it wasn't too much of a challenge. I ended up using Anubis just because he's always been so strong in fights, even without the elemental advantage, and I gave Green Bean, my Mossanda, a little action too. Overall, it was me who did the most damage. A reminder, I still need to improve my team if I'm going to be taking on those tougher towers, because this fight overall is still pretty easy. The other ones, not so much. I crafted my Azerob saddle because I was getting ready to head to Faybreak. Oh, wait a minute. He's not floating. We're actually swimming. Okay, that scared me. We're not going to drown, are we? I don't see a stamina bar. Oh, he's on the ocean floor. What? Dude. Okay, I've never used this guy on water before, but we're actually swimming. We're not floating on water. What? This is a submarine, not a boat. What are we doing? It's so slow too. Oh my god, this is gonna take so long. I mean, as long as we don't drown. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Am I gonna drown? I think this is bugged. I don't think it's supposed to be like this. Even that scared me. Okay, that meteorite, never mind. Not supply drop. We want a supply drop. Meteorites are kind of useless, I think. Oh, unless it's a saline. I really want a saline. It's a Xenoguard. Ooh, not what I wanted. Oh, he's doing a lot of damage to them. 33, we could get that. I don't need him, that's the thing. Well, I take that back. For pure quartz, he could be... Okay, this guy. Yeah, he could be good for coin. I'm supposed to go to Faybreak. I'm already getting distracted by things. You know what? Let's just do this. How many times am I going to see these guys? You don't get to see them very often. So, we'll just go for this. I already got Xenovaders. That way I can get this guy. And hopefully once I start going on Sakurajima, I can get a saline too. I don't know how well this fight is going to go though. He's pretty strong. Just keep blasting him until I can't anymore. That was close. Glad that didn't hit me. Airblade, dodge that. Okay, Green Bean, you do your thing. He's going to shred you. Might want to get Anubis into this fight. Just watch out for that Incineram. Make sure there's nothing else nearby too. That's the other thing. Just let Green Bean doing his thing. We'll just... Okay, well, I tried to dodge that. Just a little bit of damage. I want to capture him, though, so make sure I don't just kill him. Oh, he just blocked me. Oh, dude, that sucked. Oh my god. Okay, we're out. 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 Come on. Fuck. 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 Green bean, come on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, that... He did so much damage to me. Holy shit. I don't even feel safe here. I'm going back to base. My heart is racing. I'm going back to base. This is the only place that I'm safe ever. The music's still going too, so that doesn't help. I'm shaking. Holy fuck, that was close. Wow. Woo, I can breathe now. Okay, I can breathe. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, let me go lay in bed real quick. I should probably lay in bed in real life too, to be honest. Oh my god, I need to just... Whew. Okay, let's just take a breath here. Let me get my health back. We'll go back out and we're just going to say, forget Xenoguard. I don't need him that bad. I'm not even in the quartz game yet. Oh my goodness. Yep, so that was a close one. It was almost all over for me. I don't know how I managed to survive that, but that easily could have been a game over. Anyway, I wasn't going to let that stop me from Faybreak, which I was so excited to explore. They're walking the other way. They're walking the other way. I think I can get up in there without aggroing them. Not worried about you. I just want to get the fast travel. I think I'm going to just beeline it for that. Oh, God, something aggroed. Oh, it's just penguin. We're okay. We can get it. Do I want this egg? Yes. I shouldn't do that when I'm aggroed to something, but you know what? We're going to grab it anyways. I should probably just use my grapple, man. I really should just use my grapple. It's just so much easier. It's just so fast with the grapple. We're using the grapple, man. Grapple beats out everything, I guess. Except Jetragon, maybe. All right, let's get to work here. Let's start. We already got 2 eggs. Look at that. Let's get 3 now. 3 eggs. Perfect. All right, so yeah, this is what we want. Let's see what kind of stuff we can get from this. This loot should be better than any other Gatling gun animal. Circuit boards, okay. Taking the time to do that. We're just out here to get loot. Energy cartridge. Then, once again, after so many countless tries, and after feeling stronger and being stronger than I have ever so far on these runs, I attempted another cave. Okay, caves I have to be nervous for and be very, very alert. Could be anything right at the entrance, so let me just be very, very careful going in here. Right, just know that I can turn back and run if I need to. So, all right, here we go. I really want to just be able to do one of these. I don't need them. There's nothing in here that I absolutely need, so it's really just more of a... Fuck! Dude, why? Why? Dude, oh my god. This is why I don't do caves! Dude, holy... Oh my god. Okay, no, never again. I'm never going in a cave again. There was no reason. Every time I try to do cave, there's something level 50 something. Sent my ass running back home to safety. After that Xenoguard experience in the cave thing, I was ready to stick around my base for a while. But as I was hatching eggs, I knew I needed an upgrade to cake making. I needed the electric kitchen and the Yormantide Ignis, so both of those things became priorities because breeding was the only way to truly level up fast enough. However, in the short term, I only had 1 level to go to get that ore mining site number 2. I didn't even bother with the first one. My ore mining base was more than enough for my needs at the time, and that thing is pretty slow, so I skipped it and I waited until the level 2. My confidence was peaking. I was feeling pretty invincible. I started capturing more higher level pals like Suzaku, and really just not being afraid of things anymore. My character and pals finally had reached a level where I could fight a lot of stuff, which just further increased my ability to level up faster. Because in the end, this is what continues to be the hardest and grindiest thing. It is true. The 1 times XP is a pain in the ass. Nightmare hatched from my Faybreak egg. Getting those wild eggs continued to pay off. Things like Nightmare and Cryolink's Terra are both hard to get pals still for me, and breeding things like that isn't always possible, like the Chickapee. But the more pals I have in my pal box means the more pal combinations that I can breed with, so egg hunting continues to show its value beyond just the free XP. I continued grabbing every egg I could while out capturing pals. Once I had the level I needed, I eventually put up my ore mining site at my base, along with a bunch of Nocklums that I have been slowly hatching over time. My only initial fear of having a base over here was having high-level flyers come to me, but time and time again, this proved to be the ultimate starter spot. These flyers had no chance. Breeding and egg hatching was pretty much my main focus going forward because there were even more benefits. Also, it provides alpha pals occasionally, which you can then butcher for more of those civilization parts. Between that and farming Sweepa and Nightwing, I was able to repeatedly build more and more egg incubators, and I was going to need them. Selling those parts also gave me a good amount of gold because I still wasn't at that assembly line level to unlock it. I headed out to Sakurajima mostly for eggs and new pals that I could get from them, but also loot. Maybe I could get a supply to drop over here, and who knows, maybe I can capture myself a Saline, another one of my favorite pals. And what do you know? Not 5 minutes of being over there, I saw her. But here's the thing, after so many tries and so many hours, I've definitely learned my lesson. Do not take fights that are even questionably risky. A level 50 Saline and a 52 Cryolinx Terra nearby are two pals that I cannot and will not mess with right now. So if this was my second, maybe third run, I'd probably attempt to get it, but not this version of me because I knew better. I moved on safely. I got some legendary spheres from chest, which was a nice touch. Otherwise, it was just a bunch of XP. I had just 2 levels to go for the much needed electric kitchen. So I went back to Sakurajima to try to grind that out. Then I saw a Shadowbeak. I was 6 levels lower than it, but I had 5 pals and a lot of ammo. I really wanted one, so I took the risk. This was a much less risky fight than against that Saline that I just saw, so I actually felt confident that I could, and I could just always grapple away. But like I said, I really wanted a Shadowbeak. I let my pals do their thing and I used the high ground to take my advantage to get its health low. But I wasn't paying a close enough attention, and he used his Divine Disaster Charge on my beacon before I could get it out of there. Its health was already low enough I could just toss sphere after sphere until I got it. A fair trade-off for my beacon, but I still needed the saddle, which was 8 levels away. So I was going to be super focused on leveling because that's all I really wanted to get. For now though, I switched to Ragnarok as my flyer. And since I was upgrading more and more with things, I needed quartz, so I went up north to farm some. Then I continued getting things crafted at my base and upgrades, expansions, and additions as I slowly crafted more spheres so that I could go on a mega capture spree, because at this point all I wanted to do was get to that level 47, well 49 because the rocket launcher. I had only captured the 12 pal max for very few pals, which meant it was still easy to get XP. I didn't have to hunt down specific pals. I could still just capture pretty much everything. And at my current level, I'm able to capture most things in the wild, so XP is actually coming faster than ever. I also had my eggs going, so when I ran out of spheres, I'd just come back, hatch some eggs, and get more spheres. I also did some intentional exploring to get XP. When you discover a new area, you get a good bit of XP, so I was also using that. And between these 3 strategies and doing nothing but that, it still took forever. I upgraded a few things like my kitchen along the way, but mostly that is all I did for hours and hours, just leveling, grinding that XP. I had the occasional trip to Mount Obsidian too to collect fire eggs, hoping to get my hands on a Yormantide Ignis to speed up that cake baking, and I captured another Shadowbeak so that I could start breeding them. I had my bases mostly automated, so spending all this time capturing yielded me a lot of good resources when I finally took a break, thanks to my Nocklums. This is easily the most consecutive levels I grinded out without doing something different. Usually I get bored and I have to take a break and do other things, but it just goes to show how badly I wanted that Shadowbeak saddle. In the process, I also pushed up to Dune Shelter for access to more merchants and ice organs, if I need them. And since I had no luck with wild eggs, I started breeding for a Yormantide Ignis myself. I had to get Blaze Howl first, so I put my Azerob and Eikthyr gear together to get a Blaze Howl, who I could then combine with Yormantide, who I also do not have, but I have the pals to breed one of those too. Then I had another thought. I knew one of the Fabric pals gave you more items from butchering, so I put Rushroar and Reptyro together to breed a Splatterina, hoping to use her to boost how many civilization parts I get from the alpha butcherings. After going on such an intense capturing spree, I had so many pals in my pal box that I could pretty much breed any pal that I needed. So that's what I started doing. Instead of trying to go out and capture something, I could now just basically breed anything that I needed. After that little break, I still had one more level to go, so I got back to it. But as soon as I unlocked it, immediately I was like, I need to keep going because now all I want is that rocket launcher. So I crafted more spheres and I just continued grinding my face off. I didn't have a whole lot else to do anyways because I had so many large eggs that I had to wait to incubate. Besides the rocket launcher, there was another really important thing that I wanted, the skill fruit tree. My strategy was to use Knocklims for the fight, and so I knew I wanted the best move in the game to put on them, Holy Burst. But I would need the skill fruit tree to get them, and it takes a while because it's about luck, so I wanted to get one of those planted ASAP. Another reason I just kept grinding that XP as much as I needed a break, because I was definitely tired of it, but I really needed those things to continue my progression. I got the level and some of my Yormatides finished not much later. I realized I didn't have a neutral skill fruit, so I had to go out to that skill fruit tree and find one. I had a bunch of fruits, but I was surprised that I didn't even have a single neutral one. Anyway, after checking 3 trees, I was only able to come away with one. Really weird how I had so few. And when you plant the neutral skill fruit, you have a small chance of getting Holy Burst. So having more of the neutrals planted would give me better chances. I only had the one, but it's better than none, so I started that process. Since I was getting all my other work pals upgraded, I bred myself an Orser with my Grisbolt and Relaxaurus, and then I got my Yormatide and Blazehowl together to get my first Yormatide Ignis. I tested out Splatterina, but she appeared to do nothing for me. I couldn't really tell because the only ones I knew how much they gave were Nightwing and Sweepa, but if it was more, it was only like one more, maybe, so for me it just wasn't even worth it. Maybe if she's leveled up, she might be better, but I was disappointed in that because getting more of those parts was needed because I was definitely still in need of more incubators. I got my Shadowbeak saddle crafted, but I never knew this about him. He runs on the ground, which meant that he could drown if he runs out of stamina over water. As much as I wanted to use him, I was still afraid of drowning, so I ended up just sticking with my Ragnarok for now as my main flyer. A little disappointing. I finally put up the electric furnace so I could now get into Pal Metal tier, which I needed 100 of them because I desperately needed that gold assembly line. After so much capturing, I took a break from the XP grind even though I was just one away from the rocket launcher. I unlocked and crafted the assault rifle, which is another really powerful weapon, so that held me over because I needed a break from that XP grind. Instead, I focused on creating more space in my base, gathering some needed resources like quartz, and just hatching eggs for XP that way. With all my new pals, I had some swapping to do, like get my Yormatides on my main base, because watering those trees takes forever, even with 2 level 2 Azeroths on it. It wasn't enough. I got my gold assembly line and I finally had all the gold that I could ever need for my cake production. It's now able to increase exponentially. I know that another method people use to get gold is to craft legendary spheres, but I'm telling you now, it's way less efficient. With a few Knocklims, mining ore, and a single Anubis, I can get more gold than I could ever possibly use without boosting any of my pals. I don't think I even crafted a single legendary sphere up to this point because of Pal Metal. I used my first 100 Pal Metal to craft the gold assembly line, and by that time, I already had enough ore to make a boatload of gold. So to me, I don't see the value in investing hours and hours boosting pals to make this legendary sphere farm, when as soon as you hit level 48, you can get access to as much gold as anyone really ever needs. And it takes way less resources with a few basic pals, because you just need ore, compared to ore, palladium, cement, etc. to craft those spheres. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the best method for gold production. On just my second Yormatite Ignis, I got Artisan. Super lucky. I made him my main cake baker. And now that I had them, I could actually craft Pal Metal reasonably, so I could start actually making legendary spheres. I had to go out and get more neutral skill fruits because my tree only gave me 2 more, and I needed to speed that process up, but still had bad luck getting them. Neutral fruits don't seem to spawn as much. I picked up an assault rifle level 1 schematic from Sakurajima chest, a nice upgrade to the one I just crafted 5 minutes ago, and then I got that level and unlocked the rocket launcher and the large stone oven, which would help speed up cake production even more. After a little more sulfur farming, I got the rocket launcher and some rockets crafted. I got lucky with an egg and I hatched a demon god Azrob at one point. Not sure when it happened, but here I was attempting to transfer that to my combat pals, specifically my Shadowbeak and then Nocklum, so I started working out a breeding path for that. First, I wanted it on my Felbat, so Azrob and Chicopee for that. I had been super locked into the grind for a while, and it was very repetitive. I decided to give something else a try. Level 16, guys. That's why I'm not worried about it. I'm level 49, so this is like, yeah, this is what I want. Pendant of Diligence. Training manuals might be nice, actually, though, so that could help. I love this. This is so nice. Feels good to be overpowered for once. Oh my gosh. This is by far the strongest I've felt doing this hardcore run. Like, it's not even close. This is exactly what I like. Nice and easy. The rocket launchers feel so good to be back with this. Oh, it was so nice to be able to get this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, that could actually hurt. Okay, he's hurting me a little bit. He's not hurting me so much as it is overwhelming. It's just kind of, you get a little panicky when got a freaking Gatling gun spraying you down. Let's see, he gave me 165 XP. So, okay, XP is not worth it at all. Not like the other oil rig where the guys are so much higher level where you get actually pretty good XP. Oh my god, okay. So, course ammo. 5 training manuals, not even XL ones. Ice missile, which I don't even know is a good move. And then musket schematic 1, which I think I already have, but I don't want anyways. From here, things got even more repetitive. I ended up expanding my mining base and main base while waiting for more eggs, and I continued building more and more incubators whenever I had the resources for it. After taking a few days to focus on building my team, my XP and leveling had come to a halt. So to keep pace, I got back out for a while to do some more level grinding. I finally had enough resources to craft a decent number of legendary spheres, so it made capturing just a bit quicker and easier, especially those higher level pals. And I was sort of needing that because I was slowly starting to get to the cap of 12 for all the lower level ones. Then back to hatching Nocklums. I was able to get Demon God onto my Nocklums with the Azerob and Suzaku Aqua. Suzaku Aqua I had to breed myself, but ever since capturing that Suzaku, that was easy enough to do. So now I was at a point of trying to combine Demon God with other things like Musclehead and Serenity so I could start getting those passives I needed on my fighting team. The leveling was slowing down a lot at this point, so I really had to start focusing entirely on breeding for XP. Then I made a list. I went through to see which pals I needed to get to 12, then looked up which pals I needed to breed them. This was going to be my strategy going forward to get the last 10 levels. Because I'm breeding non-stop anyways, I might as well do this too, so I don't have to waste time going out and farming and capturing stuff. In order to do that effectively though, I still had another base to unlock and set up. I still only had the 3 bases. But the bottleneck this time was that I needed to build an oil extractor to level up my base. My 3 bases didn't have any nodes, so that meant I was going to have to tear down an entire base. The problem is, some of that stuff goes away if you destroy the base. Since my mining base seemed to have the fewest things, I had to tear it down and rebuild a base near an extraction site. I built it, leveled up, then destroyed it and went right back to my mine and rebuilt all the stuff that had been destroyed. Annoying. I got myself a Shadowbeak with Vanguard, Runner, and Fit as a Fiddle. That felt like as good as I was gonna get for now, so I made him my main man and I put him on my team so that he could start getting passive levels. Then, right after rebuilding everything, I tore it down again. I realized I needed plasteel to get the next base upgrade. So it didn't work for me to just build the oil extractor and take it down. I actually had to leave it up and get some oil. Since I'm not really using coal much anymore, I moved my mining base to Sakurajima, where I could get oil and, unknowingly, sulfur. I was very hyped when I saw a couple of sulfur nodes in the same area as oil. Sulfur wasn't too hard to get, but this would be automatic, and the rockets were getting a little costly, so this is a nice area. A dangerous, but nice to find. Since there were some high-level hostiles around, I ended up putting up a stone wall for safety. I got that base reset up. I ended up just using 3 regular generators because I didn't really have the resources for the big one. And at this point, I wasn't that desperate for anything at my mining base other than the oil. I started condensing my Shadow Beak, getting closer, still only needed about 45 more. Then another round of rearranging my Knocklums and Fellbats at my farm to get the best passives that I could. I started working on my Gale Claw. I had one with Vanguard, Stronghold, and Motivational Leader. This was good enough for me. I wanted this because I figured it would be better at surviving in a boss fight. As much as I loved Killamari for exploring, I don't need that extra stamina in the boss tower, but I do want that extra speed. So the Gale Claw was something I put effort into getting a fully condensed one. I went back to the easy oil rig to see if I could get some levels, but it's just not worth it. It does no good for me anymore at level 50. I did, however, discover another way to get XP. Well, let's discover it and more so embrace it. I already knew this to be true. Killing higher level pals is a really good way to get XP. But up until getting the rocket launcher, that's kind of hard to do because, well, they're higher level than you. The rocket launcher makes it a quick, easy way to get a decent amount of XP. I started embracing that strategy more and more because capturing pals was getting expensive for the cost of spheres and time consuming because all the high level pals now seem annoyingly hard to capture. I was still feeling the struggle of getting XP even after all that breeding because the late level grind is even worse. My Holy Burst trees, which had been running this whole time, were yielding lots of fruits. I definitely had enough by now. I made another trip to Faybreak so that I could get Night Sand for the double jump boots, something that I had been meaning to get a long time ago, but I just kept forgetting. And then back to my routine of grinding XP, capturing pals, and hatching eggs. I was at level 51 and trying to get myself a few more levels so that I could go take on the regular oil rig. I was trying to get more alpha pals too, but I realized the XP gains aren't anything worth my time unless it's a level higher than me, but I was seriously desperate for faster XP. I was very much tired of capturing things, and my breeding farms were all stocked, full of Knocklums and Gale Claws and Fellbats and Shadow Beaks. All my pals I was going to be condensing, so it was hard to make space to do a bunch of breeding for XP. Once I started to get the pals I needed for condensing, I started to slowly swap out my farms for pals I could just hatch, like Joltal Christ. I focused on ones I needed 12 of, and also a little emphasis on smaller pals, because the difference between waiting for a 6-minute egg and a 60-minute egg is major, obviously. Once I got to level 52, I got my crusher set up and cold feed box, and I was able to level up my base to the final level that I needed. Now I could have 4 bases, and that was the max for default settings. Just in case I was in need of more oil, I put my new base on Sakurajima where there's an oil node, but for now it was going to be fully occupied by breeders for XP. Then I spent a whole lot of time sorting through my pals, trying to put together the combos I needed to get the pals that I still needed, and I started my first round of mega breeding strictly for XP. I also was reminded I can just buy ammo. You chew through the assault rifle ammo so quickly, and sulfur was a bit of a problem because the rockets are pretty expensive, but after discovering that I could buy them, it legitimately saved me so much time having to farm sulfur now. With all my gold, I can very easily buy as much as I needed, something that I never used to do in the past. My Knocklums were almost done and almost had what I needed to condense, so I started moving those incubators over to my new base because I was still struggling to get as many as I needed, even after butchering a bunch of alpha pals. I swapped the Knocklums for Gale Claw, and I also added Anubis so that I could start getting souls to the farm. I was trying everything I could for XP. It was so brutal. I even started flying around the map and getting more places opened up. You get a really nice boost of XP late game. It probably would have been better to keep most of the map closed off until this XP grind, but I still tried to unlock what I hadn't yet. And I was also just trying to destroy everything higher level than me and capture anything lower level than me, all while I had every egg incubator filled up, only going back to hatch the ones that were ready. It was what felt like an endless grind to level up at this point. I got my disassembler crafted. This made butchering those pals a lot easier. Really wish this thing could have been unlocked sooner, but I'll definitely make use of it while butchering Anubis for souls. Since the leveling was so brutal and since I still needed to level up my party pals, I was planning a trip to the oil rig. It was always my go-to method in the past for leveling my pals, and I specifically wanted to go at level 54 because I'm pretty sure most of the enemies are 55, so killing them should have a huge XP boost, and I should quickly be able to hopefully level up my pals. Well, that was the plan. I put Azerob on the team because I don't have anything fast enough to fly over there and outmaneuver those turrets, so I'd be taking the water route. I got to the base of the oil rig and climbed aboard and blasted my first enemy. And just as I was hoping, I got a whole bunch of XP. Killing 3 of those guys was basically the same or more XP than capturing pals. So this was really nice for those quick XP gains. I slowly worked my way up from the bottom, making sure not to be surrounded at any time. With my rockets, it's very easy to take out so many of those guys at once. And I have done this rig so many times in my main save. I feel like I could do this thing blindfolded. Maybe not, but seriously, I have done it a lot. I know where the guys come from. I know where they spawn. I'm very familiar with it. So even though some of those guys like the Crushers take multiple rockets, I knew I'd have this under control because I myself had plenty of ammo too, plenty of rockets. After slowly and carefully moving forward, I was kind of just seeing if I could make it to the chest, since I was here. And I had no problems at first. All was going as it was supposed to and as I planned. And as it has gone the hundreds of other times that I have done this. When I got to the shipping crate area, everything changed. Here's the thing. Like I said, I've done this rig hundreds of times. I was so overly confident. I didn't even have my mic on because I knew that there was a 0.0% chance of anything bad happening. It wasn't going to be exciting at all, so I didn't even bother recording it. Boy, was I wrong. I'm going to let this play out so you can see it before I break it down. Did you see it? Did you see where I effed up? Let me break down how this happened. First, it started with my unnecessary need to find the chest. I wasn't really getting the XP I was hoping for, so I thought about just calling it quits, but I have FOMO, and I had to see what was in the chest because I'm always desiring that quad missile launcher. So, mistake number 1. I was already lacking focus because I was thinking about leaving. This was just a moment of me being like, well, let me just check around this corner and then I'll leave. But the real mistake was trying to do the quick reload with the rocket launcher. If you didn't know, you can animation cancel for a much quicker reload. And normally, it's not really that hard to do. I hate to blame it on my mouse, but I'm definitely going to blame it on my mouse. My mouse broke like a few days earlier, so I had switched to an older one with a really touchy scroll wheel. This made my ability to do the animation cancel much harder, and so I was really just not used to it. So instead of shooting another rocket, I was on my grappling gun. I did not want to grapple. Okay, but not the end of the world, right? Well, with my luck, it was the absolute worst spot that you could possibly grapple to. If you notice these 3 pipes in this shot, they were blocking me. I couldn't move left, I couldn't move right, and I couldn't move forward to drop down. I was legitimately stuck. If the grapple was to the left or to the right or even lower, it would not have propelled me into that pocket where I really got stuck. Then I started to panic. That was my next mistake, because to get down, all I really had to do was crouch. But while on fire and panicking, it's kind of hard to think clearly. Once I did get down, I was losing health rapidly and I was still on fire, so I made my next mistake. I ran when I should have just taken cover. I was on fire, losing health, and I didn't realize I had taken out the guy in this corner. I could have just stayed here and used my fell bat to heal. Or I didn't even need to heal. I could have just killed these guys off while staying around the corner. But again, I didn't remain calm, so my instinct was to run. And I just had too much fire damage already done to be able to escape. I sat there and rewound the video over and over and over, hoping that it was a bug or an issue with clipping, Because if it was, I'd be perfectly okay with loading up an old save and just not even counting that death. I'm not one to let a game-breaking bug destroy my fun and my experiences. But after watching the video, it wasn't a bug, just bad design and incredibly, insanely bad luck by getting stuck right in that one tiny spot. The fact that I still had an opportunity to survive, even after getting unstuck, made me not be able to justify a restart. It was a real death. My run was over. And that was anticlimactic. Not even a good death reaction since I didn't have my mic on. It all came crumbling down in the most unexpected of times. Where do I go from here? Obviously, I couldn't restart because it's like 90 hours in, and there's not even enough time because 100 hours was my goal. I didn't even complete my goals of 100 days though, let alone the other towers. So I was feeling like a big failure. This was crushing, but I had to know. I just had to know. All that work and time I put into my squad, were they even good enough to get me to my destination? I loaded up an autosave before my death so that I could at least test out my squad. They were all underpowered. My intentions originally were to bump them up to 30% boost from souls in health, attack, and defense. I barely got them up to 15 because that's all the souls I had. And since this was already a failure and just for testing, there's no way I was going to go waste my time doing all that farming. But this was my team: a Gale Claw, 2 Knocklums fully condensed, a Fellbat fully condensed, and a Shadowbeak fully condensed as well. Axel and Orsurk was first. As I was hoping, this fight was very easy because I was already much higher level than recommended. My 1 Knocklum and his Holy Burst pretty much is all I needed, but having 2 just made it go a lot quicker. Marcus and Flaris was next, and the same thing. My strong-ass Knocklum and its Holy Burst made the fight very easy. I didn't even need to do damage really, and I certainly didn't need my Gale Claw for maneuverability. Those 2 were easy. I assumed Victor and Shadowbeak were going to be as well, so I went into the Saya and Celine fight because I knew she'd be a little bit harder. And I was right. She wrecked my Knocklums and me. There were some pretty obvious issues in hindsight, but I'll go over that in just a minute. I went to the Victor fight next after I reloaded another save, and that one was very easy like the others with my squad. So I was curious why the Saya and Celine fight was so much harder and why my team failed so miserably. I gave my pals even more of a boost in souls just to try to get them to as close to how it would have been if this thing was still legit, because I really wanted to know if I would have even been able to make it past this fight. And after multiple attempts, I'm 100% certain this would have been my end if I didn't already die on the oil rig. There is almost no way I would have made it past Saya on my first attempt because there was a big problem with my strategy. Holy Burst doesn't work on Saya and Celine. The reason this move is so good is because it hits the target multiple times, like up to 6 times. That's a lot. So with small targets, it's no better than like a lot of other moves because 9 out of 10 times it only hit her once. So I wasn't getting the value out of that special move, which essentially made my entire strategy of spamming Holy Burst on her completely useless. Second to that was, since I was trying to Holy Burst spam, it meant I didn't get the full effect of my Knocklums because I was constantly pulling them back and resetting their partner skill, which is a waste. Not that I could really do anything about it anyway. Saya was still able to destroy my Knocklums even while their partner skill is active because she just hits so hard. I spent a lot of time withdrawing them just to keep them alive, and that obviously reset their skill. And with Fellbat, I just wasn't able to do enough damage with a single rocket launcher to really justify her on my team. I needed a better weapon for it because Saya was out damaging me. Eventually I did get a win, but there's no way this would have happened my first time here. So it was definitive. I got my answer. Even if I didn't mess things up so badly on the oil rig, I still would not have made it to the end. And since I knew I wouldn't have gotten past this, I didn't even bother with the Bjorn and Bastigor tower. None of this matters anyways. I already died on the oil rig. It was all over. Doing all this extra stuff after my death was really hard because I was not in the mood. This was one of the most crushing things to ever happen to me in a game. Ever. I had trouble even editing this because it infuriated me so much while doing so. But after I had time to move on, it gave me an appreciation for it. Despite how it ended, it was one of the most enjoyable experiences ever. This mode completely changed how I played and appreciated this game. It felt like a true survival game in a sense. It felt like a roguelike with all those night runs. It felt like a Souls game with the dread that you feel at times. It made me so much more invested in my experience, and Palworld was already becoming one of my favorite games. But this game mode takes things to a whole nother level, and I highly recommend you give this a shot for yourselves. That is, if you can handle a little bit of pain. And who knows, you might just find your favorite new way to play Palworld. I know I found mine. In fact, I'm already deep into another round of attempting this challenge. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.